Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Vid Somewhere 2024, second annual Vid Somewhere. Last year we got a pretty good number of videos, to the point where I almost couldn't get all the recording done on time, which was great. I was pressured with a deadline after pressuring you guys with the deadline. This year is no different. We actually got more videos than the last time, and a lot of them are really good. Some of them are not so good, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. Last year, Marbles won. The Alpaca Comics guy, he goes by Oxfordinary on Twitter. He sent us something fun having to do with his comics and everything. But before I go any further, let's go ahead and introduce our cast. Joining us for this Vid Somewhere is, all the way on my left, Alan as a skeleton.
Yes, hello, I am Alan, and the debt I owe Greg for my soul will never be reckoned.
Yeah, it's a compounding interest thing. Learned about that in school. Along with also Visual Basic for Excel, which helped me calculate the compound interest on his soul. Next to him is Two-Bit, the chicken.
You may remember me from judging last year and also doing thousands of squats when I did a week in VR a year ago.
Yes, Two-Bit lived in VR for an entire week.
I remember you were supposed to make a crown, but you abdicated your responsibility to the throne!
I made a crown, okay, and then it sat on my desk for the entire year.
and here on my right is Artisan.
I am Artisan, and I screwed up my audio recording, so I have been dubbed over.
Yeah. And anyway, though, last year we promised that we would give the winner a crown with teeth glued to it, and we made the crown and glued some teeth to it. We never gave it to anyone, but it was made, and it's the thought that counts, as everyone who has ever promised any kind of gift will tell you. So we don't know that anyone's going to win anything this year either, but we might make them something and then just never send it to them. That's also valid. But at any rate, though...
It was very much a profound waste of the teeth I let Greg have.
Yeah, I've also got compound interest on the teeth, but I'm not sure how I'm going to collect on those. Gonna have to take, like, dental imprints and do a 3D printing thing, I think.
You could also use a hammer, an extreme prejudice.
Anyway, though, there's no point in wasting time, so I guess let's get right into it. First video, we'll start with Marbles, because he won the last one. So, Marbles, let's go!
Yay, marbles.
Woo!
All right.
So I joked on Artisan sending me messed up audio, and then I immediately messed up the visuals. So we're going to watch our first couple of submissions on a TV.
Far out in the Andes mountain range in South America, in the harsh, dry terrain and the high altitudes, lives the llama. Here we have
See, last year, Marbles worked really hard on drawing a bunch of comics and stuff like that, and he told me that it was a lot of work, and it was very stressful, so this year, apparently, decided he'd save himself some pain.
Oh dear, it appears a book has fallen out of the sky.
Readings for nerds.
And landed on one of the llamas.
I see the X's. I mean, it's pornographic material.
Necronomicon Ex Mortis.
Yeah,
the
it's not
Book of the
safe
Dead.
for the llamas.
Llama Pornography. The Book of the Dead.
Llamas are a curious place. However, all llamas are
NSFL.
And while
NSFL.
they will look at these books, they cannot read. Instead, they will spend hours looking at the pictures. This behavior of llamas looking at pictures has
Readings
been
for nerds.
documented.
Look, see? I called it.
Oh, well.
Llama
yeah.
pornography.
That's part 10.
I swear I just bought it for the video, guys. It's just a
The
prop.
llamas gather around this
Yeah,
new
it's just a prop.
curiosity.
I didn't look at it afterward.
If you monetize this video, you can write that porn off on your taxes.
To a random page, and wow, look at all those pretty pictures. There's a beautiful, happy, smiling sun, and the people below it are singing and dancing.
I think it's just the Beatles.
This is
If the
clearly one of these
llamas
weird
sing and
fetish
dance
things here.
like the people
Not sure
in this
exactly
book,
what's going on, but it's
does that mean
definitely a
that
fetish.
Yeah, the White Album got a little too experimental
Stay
for
with
me.
them as well? Only one way for them to find out.
I do love how musical llamas are. It is a little known fact that if you do a bunch of demon chants at the same time, you're way more likely to have success. You don't all have to be doing the same chant.
Yeah, you have to speak the demon's true name, and as everyone knows, if you just speak a lot of different names all at once, one of them might be the true name. I hereby sacrifice to Adam. I sacrifice to Adrian. I sacrifice to... Yeah, it's just basic probability. Black screen!
This is the news. Today,
Not
the worst
Greg.
person you can
Oh god, I'm so scared.
I didn't vote for him.
Our experts tell us to expect the end of society by the end of their first 30 days in office.
Ah!
He
I would just get up
legalized
there and
zombies.
complain
You
about
see,
my
this is
job
why
in
this
office.
country's going to hell, Greg.
I have lost my grip on my pee.
It's pretty, that, jump scare.
What? No.
Oh
No.
god, Costco.
No.
Oh god, working
Greg,
at
don't-
Costco.
Greg!
No!
Don't do this to us!
No!
God is
I'll
dead!
never afford to eat again because
Greg!
of you!
Greg, you son of a bitch!
No!
You animals! You blew it
Everyone
up!
government.
Truly, the end.
The end of the hot dog.
What the fuck does themed mean?
All right, that's it. So that was Marbles. He won last year. I don't feel super great about his chances this year. It's not that it was a bad video, but you know, I feel like his comic is really cute, and the alpacas ending the world with the hot dogs. It didn't quite pull my heartstrings the same way.
Personally, I think the quality doesn't matter. We should have him win a second time anyway, just so I can make a second crown and not send it to him again.
So we can once again slight the man and make him understand that his effort is wasted.
No, it's great because it's been sitting on my desk for a year. I can have one on each side. I'll use them as coasters.
The hot dog bit, I will say, I did really dig that hot dog bit. That was kind of a crack.
That was good.
You would, you tyrant.
Have you guys heard that story about the founder of Costco threatening to strangle the CEO if he raises the price of hot dogs? Just in case someone's not on the page with that?
Yeah, famously, that is a real thing. Yes. I keep wondering, like, one of these days they are gonna raise the hot dog price, and everybody is waiting for when it is. I've also joked that what they'll maybe start doing is they'll just offer smaller and smaller hot dogs until eventually, like, you're basically getting like a like one of those little mini
mini
hot
dog.
dogs. Yeah, a little mini dog.
Yeah,
Then they sell the old size of hot dog, but they call it a double dog for $2.50.
Yeah, and that's how they're gonna do it. Yeah, because they're locked in otherwise.
One of these days, they're just gonna give us a Vienna sausage.
Oh gosh dang it, I'm only paying $1.50. I'll take what I can get.
One of my wife's coworkers apparently used to have a date night where he and his wife would go to the Costco and just order $1.50 hot dogs expressly because they were so cheap. And it was like, I don't feel like cooking tonight. So every Friday night, they went to the Costco and had one of those hot dogs.
And then you fuck at the Costco.
You know, I've actually done the same thing a few times.
They keep asking me not
Okay, I
to.
didn't do that part.
They keep asking me not to, and I keep saying, well, then why do you have all this betting here?
You know, a Costco membership is a lot of money. It is like $1,000 a year if you're paying for Costco Premium. There should be high roller perks, you know?
Yeah, I think that's how that works. If you pay enough into a Costco membership, you are allowed to have sex in the middle of the Costco. I think that's in the fine print. Yeah, but anyway, though, that was Marble's video. So coming up next is Katsumi Maki with Katsumi's Maki's entry to Done Somewhere 2024, I believe is the title, something like that. So here we go.
All pornography is llama pornography if it gets llamas off.
Hey, you! Shut your mouth and look at my wad!
My what?
Loads of money!
Say, listen, my want. My want. Listen to my want.
This is a journey into money. Loads of money.
Well, Greg, thanks for having me.
Is that something we can do? Is that just a...
It must be a
like a
react
couple of
for their
dollars.
account or something, or their avatar or something.
This is just a really bad cover of Loads of Money, but not as good.
Generate money. Behold. Behold the money.
LODSE.
That's the joke from Loads of Money. And, like, the accent kind of explains the manner of speaking somewhat in the original video, but in this it's just
I feel parts of my brain melting.
neck-breaking transition into
That
something
was-
completely different.
Out of
I
left
feel things inside of...
Yeah, I hope you didn't like the rap song, because now
I
we're
feel
doing
things
this.
inside of my head getting softer. Wow.
Do we have to finish every
Ready
video,
to go
Greg?
already?
Do we?
And...
Oh, I mean, this one's clearly won already.
And...
Stop.
One blash top. Slippy.
Never mind that, I guess.
Flippity glop. Floppa jippity wop. Flippity slop a buck wide jippity slop a blue bappa.
Yeah, this is a brand new thing here. Where
Poppity plop a blipply.
Forget about what was ever going on before.
What are we watching? And more importantly, when can we stop?
It kind of reminds me of a Simlish.
The Sims spoke Simlish for a reason. This is not the same.
Like on Sims 2. Jippin' line. Yeah. So what were our themes? It was like nobody knows. Our themes were like...
Oh, I just don't even know how to react to this.
God is dead and
What's
Greg
even
gave the
happening?
prompt to
I
kill
know-
him.
I wouldn't stay and watch this if it wasn't for Vid Somewhere.
You would have clicked
I
away
would have
already.
clicked
Yeah.
away at the beginning when it was still a bad cover of Loads of Money.
We just watched a video where they were speaking gibberish, but at least it wasn't this long, and they ended the world.
Please.
It just goes on. Like, I mean, we joked about the other one changing, but like,
This one shouldn't have gone this long.
you know, I could have been on board for loads. Yeah, like of all the ones that you could have like lingered over, this was by far the worst option.
We can't do VR chat anymore. I don't want to be like this video. We have to be higher effort than this video.
I'm ashamed that we're also using VR chat after watching this. I don't want to be associated in any way.
We're bringing the whole world down. We're all a little bit more creatively bankrupt
On the
today.
bright side, this is probably going to be the worst thing that we watch for the entire contest. Like, someone would have to work to make something worse than this.
It could have been over. It could have just
Yeah,
been
that was
over.
They could have ended there. No, but we got these dance loops you gotta check out. See this? They're all doing the... Yeah. Dance loops. Dance loops, dance loops, dance loops. How long are we gonna watch the dance loops, though? For a while, I guess.
I'm gonna go make another margarita, I think.
Okay. I'll let you know if you miss anything.
What? I don't think you'd like it.
I don't like it.
What?
No, I
not
really want it
particularly
to be
good.
over. Did we put an age rating on the submissions, Greg?
Maybe we should.
What?
Wet.
Great! I can just enter a few prompts into a machine and it'll give me shit from a butt. Wow, the future is so exciting, you guys.
Okay.
I can't believe you made us sit through that entire thing, Greg. I don't want to sit through AI-generated slop.
Vote skip. Vote skip. Vote skip. We need a vote skip option.
It wasn't in the
Hey,
rules.
who did that one again?
Katsumi Maki.
Cool. I'd like to know the name of whoever put diarrhea in my eyes and ears.
So we didn't have a rule that you couldn't submit AI-generated content because I thought, like, why would you? You know, it's not like you're trying to court the YouTube algorithm or anything like that. Like, you knew human beings were going to watch it, and obviously, you would want.
There was actually negative value to producing this video because even the minimal time that went in was still time given for no reward whatsoever.
Yeah, best case, you don't get a crown sent to you.
Yeah.
I can see why they did it though. There's some logic to making someone else watch the terrible thing you did, like, because it means they own a part of me now. I felt like I was watching that someone was taking something from me.
They did take 5 minutes away from you that you will never get back. So that at the very least. Man, I honestly could go on about the AI thing. Like, a lot of people focus on the ethics of it or whatnot. I think that it's interesting that a lot of the talk about AI it's coming from like the people making the AI, sort of like salespeople and whatnot, saying like, "Hey, we're reinventing slavery. It's going to be great, except for the slaves are going to be robots. And, you know, none of the artists or anything will be able to survive anymore. It'll be a huge catastrophe for them. But think about, you know, you who will own the... Because if you look at the price on those AI things, like the amount of energy it takes to run them, like if that were going to become anything profitable, it would have to be kind of the same setup as slavery, where you'd have to pay like a ton of money up front to get the server farms running. Except it's actually worse than slavery, because with a slave, you would spend a whole bunch of money all at once, and then after that basically pay them nothing and neglect their health and everything else like that. But with the AI server farms, they guzzle energy on an ongoing basis, so you're going to have to continue to pay those ridiculous costs, like indefinitely. So, you know, it's a strange thing that they're trying to sell us on. And
don't worry, everyone. We're just devouring energy, but you get a video of Santa fighting Garfield or some bullshit.
Yeah, and the machine had no thoughts whatsoever. From a content making perspective, I do kind of get it, though, at least as far as like what would maybe go through someone's head, because we've spent probably more than a decade now trying to endure in an ecosystem that's really just about minimizing work and maximizing like minutes watched or whatever. And from that perspective, like AI is doing what AI wants, you know, which is to just make content that is barely watchable and it holds attention long enough that maybe you see an ad, right? But as far as the Vid Somewhere competition goes, though, we're not really worried about the algorithm. I'm not running ads on these videos. There's really, like, there was no objective reason to do the AI. It just doesn't achieve anything. So I don't know what Katsumi Maki was thinking. Like, there was no artistic voice there or anything like that. It's kind of a wash. So Katsumi Maki. Katsumi Maki.
Hatsune Miku.
Katsune Miku. Woo!
This was garbage and I hated it.
And what's interesting, so for me, I'm actually, there is a use case, and this is me, so my submission last year used AI, but the difference is, like, when I used it as a part of a process, the amount of manual effort that still went into making that be exactly what I wanted it to be. You go and watch this video and it doesn't just feel like this weird, nonsensical, why does this exist slop. It's just a tool used to, like, create what was in my head in the first place. And because I've made that video, like I've used AI in a way that I feel is creatively useful, I've had a lot of people go to me and go, oh, you must be like super pro AI. Like, check out this AI thing I generated. I made this. And I'm going, it's slop. There's no soul in this. You've done nothing. You didn't make this.
Your production last year is actually a crack up as an example for this, because it wasn't just like you fed a bunch of stuff into an AI and you were like, make me pink, computer. You like actually painted yourself yellow, like physically.
Yeah.
It was not like a filter or anything. You covered yourself in
green,
body
yellow,
paint.
and blue for these different characters.
I think you were showing us like clothes that you ruined because the paint wouldn't come out or something after all that. So yeah, there was like a whole process. But that was like saving you the trouble of having to maybe rotoscope or something like that, which would be a very labor-intensive process.
All I was using it for was essentially rotoscoping myself. That's all it was.
Yeah, and Joel Haber, I think, he's the similar thing, where he's doing the rotoscoping. Yeah. And so there are cases where you could use AI, but not to like generate concept not to generate stuff wholesale. It would have to be like, all right, I've got this really crappy, tedious work, and a computer could do the tedium faster without taking away any of my creative vision. That's really the best place for it. But yeah. So anyway, the next one is by JP12X. It's another musical one. Let's go. Woo!
Have I missed the deadline?
Sent and pay you nothing. We make fun of you. So don't use music. So this video, this was submitted like on the within minutes of me doing the announcement. 2024. They just sent this in like on a snap. Nothing. We make fun of you. Gentlemen, the event where you send us content, sent and pay you nothing. Yes, that's right. It is time again for Vid Somewhere. So don't use music.
Have I missed the deadline?
Sent and pay you nothing.
I like this one because I know those guys. I recognize them.
Have I missed the deadline?
Yeah, I like it because it feels like someone made it for me. I mean, I don't know what's going on with this synth beat, but it was made to annoy me in particular. I know I'm the center of attention here.
That was great, because even though it was a little painful, it wasn't very long.
It ended. We understood it was made to torment us, and it tormented us for a little while.
My favorite part is that I was in it.
That was a good part. I like that part too.
I like the part that I was in.
Oh, well, I like the part that 2-Bit was in, personally.
Yeah. See, thank you, Greg. I agree. I was probably the best part of that video.
Yeah, it was.
I like that it was short and made by a person who clearly did something.
Yeah, that was good.
Who cared at least even a little bit.
Yeah.
Their creative vision was to make us less happy.
Yeah, like that person was trying to hurt us a little bit, and it was directed at us, which meant that they had a clear creative intent that they were pursuing, and we had emotions in response to it. A small amount of disgust, a bit of amusement.
I wasn't self-conscious about my voice before, but that video made me worry that I sound like an idiot. Thank goodness that my voice is being dubbed over for the first 3 videos. Artisan really said that first part, by the way. I'm not just being mean to him or anything.
Oh, hey, this reminds me. I haven't been pointing this out, but you in the audience should be voting on your favorite videos. So if you haven't voted on the previous 2 videos, go back and do that now. We'll have links in the description. For the most part, you can vote through 1 through 5. Unless you think it's funny, or unless we think it's funny to have a different voting system. For the AI-generated video, I am going to AI-generate a vote. Hopefully the AI won't just hallucinate and create a weird vote for it. But the marbles video you can vote on, and for this one you can also vote on 1 through 5, whether you liked it the most. Highest vote, managed by number of votes, wins the competition and potentially wins nothing. With less emphasis on how you win nothing, because I've thought about that thanks to that last video.
All right, well, whatever is up next.
Okay, next up is Beaver to Beaver with the Orb. Let's go.
Yay, orbs. Orb. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Orb. Never.
Just the video. Just start it.
Well, there it is. That's the orb.
What's all that inside of it?
Well, looky here. Ooh,
Sure.
shiny.
This one seems a little asymmetrical.
It's like
It's unusual
halfway-
for an orb.
Looks
It's like
pricey.
halfway through the process of glass blowing. They just didn't
Please
finish
tell
making
me you
it
didn't
circular.
touch it. It was only for a second.
I don't know. I kind of like this orb.
Doing stuff.
I mean, the colors are pretty enchanting, I suppose.
It's an okay
Take a
orb.
look around, maybe they left a note.
I like the blue.
I think I love the orb.
Yeah, I
Found
love the
book.
orb too. This is probably the best orb I've
can't
seen.
read
I love you so much, orb.
Orb.
You can't read.
I like that orb.
I love the orb.
Orb.
Love the...
Be friends with me, orb.
It say whoever touches the orb of
Can we just
sacrifice
watch
shall
this one
no
forever?
profane
This is never going to stop, correct? We get to watch this for all time?
You really messed up
Just-
this time.
Sounds like
I think I'd stay here until I withered to dust.
I don't know about you guys, but I
friends for
love the orb.
What
The
really
orb
mean?
can have my
Well, then
organs.
it's-
I love the orb. I love the orb.
If someone ever hurt the orb, I would kill them and then myself.
but I don't feel so good.
Love me back, orb.
The orb doesn't have to.
Please love me
No,
back. Wait, what's
hold on,
happening?
What's going on with the orb? No. No, wait, bring it back.
No!
Wait.
No, orb!
Bring back.
No!
Come back.
No!
Orb! No!
Yeah, the orb is great. I love the orb. Orb. Orb.
So that was the orb.
I love the orb.
I love the orb,
orb?
yeah.
The orb.
I love the orb.
I love the orb.
I can think of few things I love more than the orb. In fact, I don't remember a life before the orb.
The orb is pretty good. It's good. It's a good video. So anyway, on to the next orb. We have Scootatrix. Yeah,
Orb, onto the orb.
Scootatrix with
Orb.
the orb.
What the hell is this?
Hello.
Effort?
Hello there.
Look at this
Do you
actual
have time
drawn
to talk
characters
about
with
our
production
saviors,
value.
The two sisters?
This
Who?
wasn't for
The
Vid
two
Somewhere,
sisters.
was it? It
They're
can't be.
creators and saviors and creators of all things. And they love you very much.
Oh, well, that's nice of them.
And they want you to believe in them in order to save your soul.
What's wrong with my soul?
Well, if you don't believe in
I have
them,
some literature
your
for you
soul
about
will
the
go to
orb.
sheep hell.
Oh, no. I don't want
Oh yeah,
that to
the two
happen.
sisters
Then
are
you'll
good,
to
but have
believe
you
in the
heard of the orb?
sisters.
Well, all right then.
Oh, great! Would you like a copy of the Holy Book? We've got blueberry and strawberry and
Hey!
You again?
Back off, Dweezil. This is my turf. Go back to Big Road.
No way! The wisdom of the two sisters should be shared with all.
The two sissies, more like. Listen, friend. You want a real god. The
You want the
yellow
orb.
god, the great shepherd. He's big and strong and will
Pointy
protect
hat.
you from syphilis.
Maybe she's got an orb under there.
She doesn't want a mean old
Pointy is the opposite of orb.
Oh, look, the orb fits within the pointy hat.
Well, I don't know. I kind of like the sound of the nice goddesses. Well, the shepherd will give your soul a whole planet after you die. Whoa, really?
See, a whole planet. That's an orb.
Just for me?
Don't listen
I want
to her.
pointy hat.
She's
It is
trying
an
to
orb.
lead you
The
down the
pointy
path
hat
to
is the
sheep
path
hell.
to the orb.
Yeah, so far pointy
Believe in
hat.
the shepherd, then you'll really
We
go
are
to
presented
sheep
with
hell.
genuine effort and just won't shut up about the orb.
No.
Can't I just believe in both? No, only one.
Or two. Two
So the orb has a
goddesses.
lingering
Well,
effect.
Do you have any proof which god is real? Of course.
But if we gave you proof, you'd be believing for the wrong reasons. You have to believe based on faith.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're going to sheep hell.
Yeah.
I didn't realize my soul was in so much danger.
That was sheep hell as opposed to shape hell, which you go to for not believing in the orb. Yeah, I feel like the only way that could have been improved is if something was going sklibbity bloobity blobbity bloobity over and over again in my fucking ears.
So that was Sheep Hell. And so far, easily the best video that we've put on. It'll be a tough contender to beat. Fun fact, Scootatrix wanted to submit that to the Vid Somewhere 2023 competition, but he wasn't able to get it done in time. And he actually showed us the scratch for that. Like, he had the animatic and everything all ready to go, but it wasn't quite complete. So that means that he probably finished that thing before the posting date, and he waited until the Vid Somewhere 2024 announcement to actually put it up on YouTube so that it would be legal.
And also, that makes a lot of sense to me, because when that one popped up in the channel, I looked at that and said, okay, so clearly somebody's doing a joke here. There's no way somebody made this for Vid Somewhere. And so I click into this video, I look at the descriptions for Vid Somewhere, I'm like, what? Who did this much effort for Vid Somewhere?
Yeah. It was
good.
He was waiting to spring it on us, to steal the whole thing. You pointed out, between takes, that it actually fits the themes of this year. And that was not intentional, but it fits at least 2 of them, which is nobody knows what happens to your soul, and also don't touch my soul. A bit of a disservice, though, probably, to watch that one after the orb, if I'm being honest, just since, you know, we spent a lot of the comments.
Just in general, it is jarring to have something so high quality have popped up after what we've been through tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're not expecting that level of, you know, effort after not seeing that level of effort up to this point. But that's okay. It's not the only high effort one. Luckily, we've got at least 1 or 2 others that are pretty good. So, you know, night's not over yet. I don't know if we'll knock that one out.
Well, thank you to Scooter Tricks for a genuinely high quality video for us to watch.
Okay, you know what we really need? To watch my video now.
Yes, because that's exactly what we need, is a palate cleanser from good content. On to the next one, Golden Monkey by Artisan.
Here's a nice sorbet to clear the taste out of that filet mignon from your mouth. And here's some bologna. Here's some rotten bologna now.
Hey, there he is. It's the Golden Monkey.
Wait a minute, I thought we were going to the Shrine of the Silver Monkey.
No, this is... They only got him because they couldn't get the Golden Monkey. Silver Monkey works for cheaper.
The head is backwards.
You're free to go now, Alan. Thank you. Bye.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thanks for cutting me that check.
So I'm seeing the Golden Monkey does his morning stretches, looks like. It's all ready for his...
Look at that weak golden monkey smelling the flowers. This is pathetic.
I mean, you know, if you lived alone in the jungle and you had nothing to do but run through your maze and smell the flowers, this would be a... You know, this is a day.
Well, you know, it is either all this or masturbating.
Well... Thanks,
That's late.
Thanks for having me,
That's
Greg.
after the maze.
Let's wrap this up now.
Yeah, that's good. I think we're done. We've got enough out of the Golden Monkey as we're gonna get.
I've earned my keep. I've earned my keep. Thanks for bringing me on.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for coming in. This is like a horror film
this
close-up.
camera angle works pretty well, actually.
Oh, hey, there's me. I'm naked.
Are you two an item?
I mean,
Alan?
after a tough day of
I didn't
running
know
through
you
the
dated
maze
the
and
monkey.
masturbating, this is you would be. You would be naked logically, as is the golden monkey. We're really thinking about it.
Yeah, I got paid to do the head is backwards line and to pose nude. That's fine. There was something in the contract about a crown?
Yes, that will live on somebody else's desk for a year and never get to
Okay, yeah, I'm expecting that very soon.
I do have to admit, I enjoy how much you're acting out this role, though. I do. You make being the golden monkey look like a lot of fun.
You see, that's such genuine monkey excitement. Oh, he found his friends. He fits in. Finally, somewhere where...
I don't hate this, which places it firmly in the middle of the pack.
Better than half of the videos. Did not hate.
He's gonna be stuck in there and starve now.
It looks like you had a malfunction there. looks like your headset. Yeah,
he's
broke.
Slowly freezing and becoming one of the idols on the pedestal. And now he's gonna be stuck with his finger up his nose forever.
Good. And then the golden monkey ate a booger. Credits.
Credits. Not even credits. Just blank screen.
What a touching story.
Okay, so that was the golden monkey. You know, as far as it goes, it wasn't terrible. Like, I honestly, you made being a golden monkey look fun. I would be a golden monkey, have a lovely life, living in the temple, smelling the flowers, masturbating on occasion.
The whole reason I made that video was to eat my booger at the end. That was the first idea, and the rest of it was just working backwards.
I think I'd be a silver monkey instead and make children in the 90s put me together.
I mean, you know, that monkey, he had fame, you know. The kids really cared about. They were very focused. Every single child said to themselves, "I could put that monkey together," and no child could.
And every single child just choked in the moment.
Yeah. I've read stories about that. Apparently, it was not actually. It didn't fit together very well at all. Like you think it would, but even if you could get it facing the right way, it wouldn't like slot together well.
I just want to point out that I directed a lot of my effort to creating a video where basically nothing is going on, and yet it remains just barely watchable enough that you don't want to walk away from it. Like you can sit through the thing, but there's no substance.
It's true. I watched the whole thing.
Truly, your video had nothing to offer, but we watched it.
Yeah, we watched the whole thing and didn't wish it was over. You know, I don't want to take away Dwarven Defender's role as the video that we dunk on for the entire of the vid somewhere. But you know what your content was better than? It was better than AI-generated content. That's one thing I could definitely say about your video. Yeah, I don't know if it's. I'm kind of curious now. Dwarven Defender did submit a video, but we're gonna have to find out if he was better or worse than AI-generated content.
I feel like Dwarven Defender may lose the Dwarven Defender award for the worst thing I've seen this year.
I mean,
speaking of Dwarven, I don't know if I'm ready to find out yet what exactly he's going to do to us. So is there anything better that we can watch before we go into that?
All right, we'll wait on that one.
All right.
So coming up next, then we've got. Next up, we've got Curly Stepper and the ghost of that damn clown.
Scary Shadow Duck.
Okay, so the next one is not Curly Stepper. We took a break, and then after the break, I said, who's next? Was it me? I think I said I was going to do mine next. And I said it with such confidence that everybody was like, yeah, that sounds right. So the next one is me and Pederep. And so, with the expansion of diversified commerce, the increased tax revenue will pay for the project and make it self-sustaining in about 10 years. I'm sorry, what's all this about again? The last part about the whole thing. The whole... Rarity, it was a 3-hour presentation! Okay, well, you had me in the first 10 minutes, but then the martinis kicked in and you lost me. Rarity, I've sobered up by now, but I'm completely lost. And I'm not happy about it. Yeah, I'm not happy either. I mean, I'm not happy about the sobriety.
Also hashtag relatable.
Drinks are free, you can have one. But what about the Griffins? They do not drink free. In my presentation, none of them get free drinks. I'm talking about the Charity Foundation. Okay, I see. Let's start again from the top, but summarize the whole thing within about 2 minutes, because I've got to be at the airport. I'm going to kill you. And I'm going to be late for golf in Philadelphia. Less crying, more talky. Okay. Remember when the friendship table sent us to help the Griffins? I don't remember the friendship table. It used to make our butts blink, and then we had to travel the globe to make it stop? I do remember that. Well, it sent us to help Griffinstone. I don't remember that, though. It sent Pinky and Dash to help the Griffins. You weren't there. Why would it do that? I don't know. But Pinky told them to eat cake. So a Griffin named Greta set up a bakery. I thought they were obligate carnivores. They're not. They're half eagle, half lion. How are they not obligate carnivores? They're not. Anyway, I thought the business would fail because the Griffins don't have ready access to sugar, or wheat, or anything that you use to bake a cake. Except for eggs, but let's not think. And they're obligate carnivores. They're not. But this girl, Greta, her business explodes, and it grows and grows and grows and takes over everything. All right, girl doing it for herself. So pretty soon, she's the only company in Griffinstone. Really girl bossing it up. Corporate monopoly, vertically integrated, up and down. Sounds like it all worked out. Owns her own private military. I own one too. Uniforms are hot. I designed them myself. Does she need uniforms? Is that where we're going with this? Oh, she ought to see our Rarity boss line. Anything she wants, the government gives her. Basically, she is the government. Good. More business ponies should be in government. Or birds, or whatever. We'll sell her some uniforms. Send me the paperwork, have my ponies call her ponies. Birds. Thing. It's a communist government. Oh my god! Yep. Sweet Celestia on a stick! No! She's spending her own corporate money to pay for roads and healthcare and housing and everything? No. Oh my god, Twilight. You can't just go around calling things communism. It's more like a banana republic, I guess. Anyway, the problem is they don't have roads or healthcare or affordable housing or anything. But at least they have capitalism, so someone is going to fill that market gap. Yeah, I'd like charities for you to fill that market gap. Oh, okay. Well, we'll build some toll roads, set up some private clinics. I was thinking you'd maybe do it as a charity? No. Rarities for You pays into charities for you. And then charities for you pays into your personal bank account. Well, of course, duh. Leadership like mine does not come cheap. But I've noticed it doesn't go into any charities. It does so. Just recently we made a big donation to Dash's Wings for Buffaloes program. It goes to stupid charities. It donates to your friendship school. Since you bring that up, our teachers have had a few comments about the neo-friendship philosophy. Why? What's wrong with it? It went through a brilliant think tank. It went through Think Tank for You. Well, if it's gonna be such a big problem, how about no more donations for you? You know what? Let's not worry about it right now. Can I get you on board to build roads for Griffinstone? No. Okay, well, that was it. Great. I love it when we can get to the point. Now, can I get you on board for drinks next Saturday? Rarity, I quit drinking. Order it a virgin then, whatever. I'll see you then, darling. I love you. Mwah.
Readings for nerds!
I can't read all that. It says,
Greg, what do you expect?
Before even start talking about the show, it's probably important to be clear, as day. Me am not endorse communism.
Oh yeah, no more of this talk of communism.
Important. if me had 20 minutes for it, me would happily do an entire episode about ponies trying to fix Griffinstone, making all problem. Of course. Wait, the pixels are more important than coherence. I don't want a coherent anything if we have to lose the pixels. There they are. So that was me and Petterep with Begging for You. We are disqualified on that one because that got on like a week late. So,
not that you would have won anyway. I mean, come on.
That's even worse than last year.
To be fair, the the religious llamas were pretty good and would be a stiff contender for us either way.
Oh, I was thinking of. You're right. Okay, so sheep hell. I was. I thought of the cultish llamas that summoned the end of days by voting you into office.
Oh, yeah, that was a bit of a smear tactic. I will admit that probably me winning the competition went downhill a little bit after everyone saw that I would change the price of the hot dogs. So, understandably,
yeah. If you're gonna up that price of the hot dog by $1, I don't want you to win this contest.
Just saying, it's unsustainable. A business has got to make a profit. You know, even at the expense of...
Look, it's nothing against you or anything. It's just that you know, the founder of Costco is going to come and kill you if you do that, and I don't want that. So it's not even that, like, I disagree with the business case.
That is an odd take coming from the guy. They just did an entire video about trying to get roads built for nothing, Greg.
Yeah, at the end of that, I put in that thing. I was like debating, should I even say this? It was like, I do not endorse communism. Because I feel like the internet has gotten so awful lately that you can't even make a joke about like a banana republic not providing for its own citizenry without people being like, hold on a minute. Are you my ideological enemy? I'll destroy you. And denying it.
Because they know about the hot dogs.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's gotten that way all over the internet. The last, where are we? We checked 4chan after we posted it, just because we like to see what everybody is saying everywhere. And, like, I think Petterup went on there for, like, a second. And I think that his only comment, because I saw him and he was just like, are you doing okay, MLP? Because they do not sound okay. Like, man, I don't really go on MLP anymore. 4chan's, like, not fun anymore. I am pretty sure that they're, like, I am 100% sure that there are bots being used to just make the conversation worse. But what's weird about MLP now is you go on there and like all the dead-end conversation topics, the generals and everything else that like got stale 10 years ago, they are still ongoing. They are still being posted every single day. Like nothing has changed except that it's a little bit more miserable than 10 years ago, if you can believe that.
Look, until Hasbro makes Rarity the rightful alicorn that she is, I'm gonna keep posting on 4chan.
I don't know. It's not to discount people who didn't like the video. One of the things that people said is they're kind of like, I don't really like the parent humor. Because, you know, like if you don't have kids, you don't really know what it's like to like every single dinner work really hard on a meal and then be like, here, sweetheart, I've created nourishment for you, and then just like scoop it off the table and be like, I want yogurt. Like you can't have yogurt for every meal. You know, it becomes your life.
And then you give them yogurt and they tell you that it's not yogurt.
It's not yogurt. It's not the right yogurt. Yeah. You know, so like parents relate to that a lot better because it's just sort of like, oh, I'm living that every day. You know, I know how it is. And as a parent, like you meet other parents and you kind of do get more into that mindset of just like your world kind of becomes your kids. And, you know, one of the jokes that you want to make is about kids, which, yeah, is less relatable if you don't have kids. So, I mean, like, that was valid, but for sure, it wasn't just people who were like, you know, yawn, I don't have kids, I don't get these jokes. It was
My one political stance is unchanging. I am not going to dress like a banana.
Not going to dress like a banana. You've got to wear the banana suit, Celestia. Although I'm going to become Nightmare Moon, I swear. You know what kills me? That was really how that was the actual backstory, basically. They did the reveal on how Luna became Nightmare Moon, and it wasn't like a gradual build-up or anything like that. It really was just like a snap decision that she made with virtually no explanation. Like they had an argument.
It's comments like that. It's comments like that that make me happy I never bothered to finish the show, because that's just disappointing.
I actually did go back and watch a lot of it because Tony Pencils, who was doing a non-Pi adventure, he went on to work for IDW, and then he suggested that I pitch some scripts to IDW because he wanted to work with me and make some comics. And so I sent them a couple of scripts. Before I did, I caught up with the seasons that I hadn't watched because I didn't want to be pitching ideas that the show had already done or go too contradictory to stuff that was established by the shows. And it was like easy to do because it was when my son was still an infant, so I like during his feeding times I'd feed him and I'd watch episodes. But God, it was kind of a slog for some of the later seasons just because stuff got weird. But yeah, the episodes that still stand out to me most are the episodes that are a little bit weird, or maybe a little bit ill-advised. Like, for example, the Griffinstone one, where they go to Griffinstone and the Griffins are like, "We are in poverty, help," and the ponies are like, "Your problem is you got a bad attitude, idiot." And the Griffins are like, "Wow, thank you."
You know, I've met a Griffin before. Her name was Gilda, and she was so mean.
She was
and that's probably representative of all Griffins.
It's like, imagine a supervillain origin where the villain was just a normal person who was just so ready to become a supervillain the moment anything happened. like a version,
It's like I've been waiting.
like the Riddler is just a guy who did Sudoku puzzles and had like the full question mark outfit and all sorts of shit, and he's just like, the moment a superhero shows up, this
Like,
shit's
oh,
gonna
God.
pop off.
I've been thinking about this.
It is hilarious because they have like the establishing shot of that episode where they're going to the Griffin village and it's just desolate nothingness, rocks, it's cold, there's nothing, they don't have infrastructure, and they're like, just be happy. It's like, oh, that fixed it.
They're
Nice.
the best at friendship.
There was that episode, and then there was the episode with the buffalo, where the ponies take over the buffalo. That was season 1, where they take over the buffalo's land, and then they're like, the buffalo, and we both made some mistakes, and the buffaloes need to come to a compromise. Like, and the buffaloes agree, but that one was also a little bit like, I'm not sure the ponies were totally the good guys on that episode. You know, there were a few episodes that maybe were like the ponies weren't totally in the right. But yeah, that was one of them. Rarity is a character. One of the things that I really like for the idea, though, of Rarity doing like a neo-friendship thing is that later on, apparently in G5, you find that the ponies become racist again and they segregate. And so I really like the idea of like Rarity creating a neo-friendship school, and she's kind of got her unicorn supremacist ideals. And the neo-friendship philosophy says that ponies that are alike each other get along more easily and should therefore seek each other out. and this is what they teach in the schools, and eventually but anyway, though, we've rambled on about this for a while, so let's go ahead and get into our next one. We've been talking about Dwarven Defender and whether or not he's going to take home the crown on the Dwarven Defender Award for worst video this year. Let's find out if he does. The next one is Dwarven Defender. Woo!
Yay.
Could you wait longer for Dwarven Defender's video?
Yes. Since getting my new piano, I haven't learned a single song. Still in the earliest days of my practice,
Good
I've been
investment.
focusing on the fundamentals, familiarizing myself with the instrument, and building improvisation skills. As I play, my ears began to pick out harmony and dissonance. A number sounding better than a other thing. Bit by bit, misunderstanding of music, something deepens.
Why is it still on? We read it.
I think the point of the video is
'Cause
actually
he's
the
showing
music
us-
that we're ignoring in the background there, like the elevator music.
Oh.
He is demonstrating that he can play music without being completely discordant and horrible.
Kokumen
It's,
say blues.
The United States.
Oh no.
And now that he's demonstrated that he can play music that isn't discordant and horrible.
He now must do exactly that. Well, let me turn my hearing.
Although in this case, it's just because I don't think he can hit the notes with his voice. This is a blue filter, so you know he's got the blues.
It's a metaphor, you guys. Or the C.
Yeah, it's a metaphor for how they always play the blues in C major, because it's notoriously the most the most soulful key that
Well, I
you
was
could
gonna
play
say
in.
he had to add the blues, because otherwise I wouldn't have guessed that was supposed to be blues.
Yeah.
Was this like a sea shanty, but like without the shanty?
Without the shanty part.
Yeah. This is your living room. This isn't the sea.
I can't tell if this is less bad than last year, or if we've just gone so low this year
He
that...
does still invoke that, like, I wish this was over so we could move on to the next thing feeling, though.
Not as hard as that other
Okay, yeah,
Like,
just...
that's very strong still.
I was feeling that too, I just wanted to check in and make sure.
Yeah, it's like, it's less painful, but it is still kind of like a... I wish we were doing something
this one,
else.
You can tell that he actually cares about what he's making. He genuinely thinks that this is good.
Yeah. I think I have to stand by my earlier guess that I don't think Dwarven Defender wins the Dwarven Defender award this year.
Oh no, this is
No, it's less
this
bad.
Is
It's
way better than that.
It's better.
Spirit
It's
show.
better.
Yes.
Yeah.
They don't see benevolence, they don't in Eastern grass.
He really does need to mute a microphone, though. I mean, I can't understand what he's saying.
Well, that's what
It
the
doesn't.
subtitles we can't see.
It doesn't.
It
I'm
can't
in front
matter.
of the subtitles. We can't. Nobody can tell what he's saying.
We will not allow. We will not
Cover him
allow
up.
literacy
Yeah,
to
no,
affect the
it's a
Cover
public.
him
mystery.
up.
We'll never
Don't
know
let
what
anyone
he was
see him.
singing. It's a mystery.
It just keeps going. Like, I feel like there is okay, it's better, but it's only because it's so incredibly safe. Like, to have such a minimal amount of music.
You know what sucks about this? You know what sucks about this is he gave us less to complain about.
All right, so that was Dwarven Defender with C major. You didn't have to touch any of the black keys, to prove to us that he could play without touching the black keys. And yeah,
You know,
there were
the
some
worst
people.
thing about that was that it was so simple. There's less for us to complain about it than last year.
He did get us there. Like, it's hard for us to razz on him when he when he plays it really
He
safe.
did
It was
so
really. It was
little.
a very safe video. There's not a lot to say. I think I missed having the weird camera looking at the spaghetti, just because it was something to look at least, instead of just a black and white picture of his piano.
If we felt anger, it was at least feeling something. There are people.
Not gonna lie, I downed a Boilermaker during that video.
You had time. I mean, nothing was going on. It's okay. So there were people on the server, and I think in the video comments, maybe I didn't see many in the video comments, but at least on our server, who were a little concerned about how hard we were on Dwarven Defender, and they were like, you shouldn't just constantly dump on him. People should be encouraged to make art and everything. But let me tell you,
yeah, turns out
he
you're
was
wrong because he's still here, still making his art.
Well, he was never
we will
more
accept
productive.
No criticisms in the future. We were right.
No, he's never been more productive. Like after that video, we were like, that was terrible. He just started producing like song after song after song, and every single one was some kind of like hate message to me specifically. So, I knew last year when we dumped on him, like he's been around, we were familiar with Dwarven Defender. It was clear to me that's what was gonna happen. I don't know about you guys, but I knew for sure.
I think I dumped on him. I think I dumped on it more than you did. No one said shit to me.
No, well, if you were there active on the server, he would have written hate songs to you as well, I guarantee.
The great thing about me not being on the server a lot is I can dump on all of you and feel nothing.
There will be no returns. Even if he made a song, if he made a hate song for you, you wouldn't hear it. So that's the thing, though, is that, like, yeah, we like dumped on Dwarven, but it made it clear that we were listening to him. And that was all he really wanted. And so he like, produced a ton of music after that. It was mostly awful. It was the same kind of like discordant craziness, and he talked about how avant-garde he was and how he was, experimenting with music that was beyond our comprehension and everything. I do want to point out
Us mere mortals
that
can't
song
comprehend the greatness of his music. I'm trying to do air quotes. Music.
We have such tiny, tiny little brains, and
I
just
do.
don't
I'm
appreciate
a chicken. It's not that big in there. It's like a walnut.
I will say that the big difference from last year is I am not angry this time.
Yeah, just kind of don't feel anything. Do you want to be angry though? So yeah, there it is. But okay, let's move on. Our next one is a musician who I personally like and who I think is a lot of fun. He was there for the last one. I'm glad to see him again. It's Jonathan Hayfield.
Woo!
Woo!
Yeah!
Ow! Love you! Woo!
It's the 3 J's!
I think it's one guy 3 times.
This is my favorite 3 guys.
The name is distinctly 3 J's. That is 3 people.
Well, I mean, what if his name is like James?
Man, women, and everything in
3
between.
distinct
This is
J's.
a story
Wait, hold
of
on.
a man
He said wizard. I'm pretty sure I heard wizard.
who stood and still stands in my memory.
Oh yeah.
He was strong, he was bright. That one thing he couldn't do was read or write. He was the illiterate wizard.
Oh, it's just like me.
Tell me a story. I stand here and tell you of his glory. And I will stand here in 1,000 years to tell you all about his dreams and fears. Illiterate wizard. Agathor once stood in front of a cave. In that cave there was a dragon. And the dragon...
So many more color filters in this one.
To the townspeople below. That Agathor was here.
Oh man.
To smite him.
Did he do it?
And so... he he sought out a solution.
Oh yeah, I would do that
To
too.
this Dragonite issue. And what he found shock him to his
no.
soul.
Was it a dragon? Is that what he found? Was the dragon?
Wise man from the town
Is the
said,
dragon him?
1,000 years ago, yes, 1,000 years ago, another wizard had smited the dragon.
Oh no!
And
Some kind of
Megathor asked,
regenerating dragon.
how did you kill
My uncle was a
this
dragon who was killed by an unknown wizard.
And why was it
the
back?
old man said, I didn't say I killed it. Said another old man did it. Another
A third wizard?
I'm gonna need a running count of wizards.
That, I presume you
There's
meant
too many
now.
wizards. I guess dragons just
How you
attract
managed to
wizards.
kill
What's
him
with
back
this?
then. And if that's how I understand, if I understand correctly, then we did it with this here book.
Not a
no.
book.
Oh, look.
Not a book.
He can't read.
Shall give us salvation.
Once again, readings for nerds!
More fiery penetration. Oh yeah, but Agathor, in his shame, couldn't take it no more. So he fled, because
no.
there was no way that he could say this magical book of dragon smiting.
It's okay, Agathor. I've also never read a book.
Agathor, no.
No.
At least the dragon's dead, though.
The tragic tale that must now come to an end. The tragic tale of Agathor.
Does he die?
Agathor.
No, the dragon's already dead, so it's fine for the people. Just Agathor is kind of
The
sad.
dragon died? No, I thought the dragon came back. He needed the book to kill the dragon, but he couldn't read.
The illiterate wizard. The illiterate wizard.
Bye!
Goodbye, the 3Js.
The way I always explain the difference between Magic users and D&D to new players is wizards are nerds.
So that was Jonathan Hayfield. Last year he did the 3Js, and he was late to enter, but he had a fun entry. This year he was on time, so he could potentially win this one, which again, I guess I keep forgetting to point this out, but if you liked the video, you can rate it a 5. If you hated it, you can rate it a 1, and sometimes we don't even give you an actual rating option. Depends on what we felt about it. Anyway, though, I like Jonathan Hayfield. He's fun. I feel like he's legitimately creative. He's a good musician. I enjoyed that one, the story of the man who wants to slay a dragon, but he doesn't realize the dragon is already dead because he can't read history books.
Was the dragon already? I thought that the dragon was around, got killed, and then came back again, and now he's got to go figure it out. So he went to talk to 2 other wizards, and the third wizard was like, "It's in this book. Here you go." And he was so sad about not being able to read and felt so much guilt that he left.
That might be the story. I thought the story was that the dragon had actually already been killed, and he had to leave in shame because he, first of all, didn't realize that, and second of all, could have only killed the dragon if he could read the book that kills the dragons.
Yeah.
That's what I understood, yeah.
Yeah, so...
I'm playing a wild magic goblin sorcerer right now, and he claims to be a wizard because wizards get their powers from books, but really he's just been eating magic books.
It's a form of reading. That's like, feeling the book out with your stomach.
That's why he describes magic as his tummy ache.
It's kind of the same idea of when you eat your fortune, from the fortune cookie, so the fortune comes true. It's the same deal with magic books.
That's exactly how it works, exactly. Yeah, if you guys have not been eating the fortune in your fortune cookie, you are eating fortune cookies
It won't come
wrong.
true.
Yeah, it doesn't come true.
Am I the only one doing that? Am I weird?
Yeah, weird. My fortune said I was going to get a paper cut on my butthole.
Look, that only happened one time, and I think it was a coincidence.
Oh, that reminds me. Favorite fortune I ever got once was a fortune cookie that promised me that I was going to find a wonderful boyfriend. And I put that one up on my fridge for a while because I loved how brave they were to just take a shot in the dark and just be like 50-50 odds. We're going to get it right.
Oh, like...
Yeah, like they just straight up...
I would frame that.
I had this fortune in my wallet for a really long time. I don't know where it is anymore. But I got one that said I was going to be visited by aliens, and it's like, wow! Really taking a shot there.
Brave fortune. They're just like, yeah.
I'm feeling robbed of my fortunes. Mine have always been so generic.
Just like
good things come to those who wait. Oh, great.
So many fortunes are generic, and then one day it's just like, aliens, motherfucker!
Watch your back. Okay, anyway, that's enough. Let's move on to the next one. We've got Floofy Hoofy with therapy.
Oh, sweet. I could use that.
You're never gonna have a beautiful husband, alien.
See, his screen name is Floofy Hoofy, and I'm not really getting a sense of floof nor hoof. Seeing more of a Harry Larry. Or like a hirsute Hank, maybe.
He's got quite the microphone arm. If this doesn't have top-tier sound quality, I will be disappointed.
I mean, it's just 5 minutes of him drinking. That'd also be okay. You could look at what he's got on his desk. I think that's nail polish or marker. Look at all that stuff on his wall. He's got a bunch of keychains. It's kind of a metaphor for life, maybe. Boom! Good entrance. Yeah! Good entrance! I love it! It's finally here.
He's about to perform.
Okay, so that ham. Yeah, you think it's just regular ham, but that ham fell at a constant rate. So it's a special ham. Oh, man, I once bought one of these hams for like Christmas, and it is so hard to finish them off. Like you think, oh, we'll eat most of it during Christmas, and you just got a giant ham in the fridge.
They're just helping him out. He's having a nice little meal. They thought tomatoes would go well.
Who puts ketchup on ham?
Oh my gosh!
No, no! Why are they cheering for this? You know what I think it was? I think they were upset because he went up there, he was in bare feet, and he had bright orange socks, and then bare feet, and then bright orange socks. It's confusing for the audience, made them angry. Made me a little angry. I'd like to use this time to take a moment of silence for the death of beloved star Hirsute Hank, who gave his life for his art. And while we're thinking about his magical socks and his magical ham, I'd like to use this silence to talk about all the technical problems that we've had with this year's Vid Somewhere. There have been shockingly a lot of them, and it actually starts before the announcement video. Before filming even began, my Quest headset decided that it needed to update its driver, and that also I wasn't going to be allowed to use the Link software until the driver updated. But for some reason, the driver failed to update. I'm tech savvy enough that I was able to get into the logs of the software and find out where the problem was occurring, but I couldn't figure out why. So I contacted tech support, and it turned out that tech support didn't really speak English, and also they were shocked to find out that they were selling a product called the Quest 2. Now, I wasn't expecting a lot. I mean, like, driver problems can be very computer specific. I was just hoping that maybe after chatting to a tech specialist, they'd say, oh, I've seen this before, and they might be able to direct me somewhere. Instead, I more or less had to explain what the Quest was and how I connected to the computer, and he was like, well, is your Wi-Fi okay? And I said, I'm using a cable link, so I'm not using the Wi-Fi. And he goes, can you check the Wi-Fi for me anyway? And at the time, I was still thinking like, okay, we're at the turn your computer on and off stage of this. He has to do these things. So I was just like, oh, I checked and the Wi-Fi's fine. But that didn't advance the conversation. He goes, no, it's not. He disagreed with me. So I pointed out to him, I said, I sent you the logs, and if you look at the line where the driver installation is failing, it happens after I've downloaded the driver. So I'm receiving the driver from the internet. That part's fine. It's the installation where it's failing. And he goes, no, it's your Wi-Fi. And I say, how is it the Wi-Fi? And he says, well, maybe it's not the Wi-Fi, but your internet connection is bad. And I tell him, dude, I am talking to you on the internet right now. And he says, yeah, but your internet's not good enough to download the driver. So I tell him, like, okay, it shows, look, I have the log. And he goes, yeah, it's the Wi-Fi. You need to contact your internet service provider. You have to call them. And at about this time, I realized that the guy just does not want to advance to the point of trying to wrangle my computer's drivers, because that is a headache. So I'm just like, yeah, all right, I'll look it up on my own. And so I close the call. But he doesn't close the ticket. He leaves it open. So after that, like, I kept getting emails from Meta being like, hey, you have to come back to this conversation. And eventually they closed it, and they, like, marked it as my fault because I left. But at any rate, one of the things that someone suggested was that the graphics driver can sometimes conflict with the meta driver, so I decided to do a reinstall of my graphics driver just to check if that would work. And then what happened was that my graphics driver would not reinstall. It successfully uninstalled and then would not reinstall. So now I'm just sitting there and I'm like, my motherboard's graphic driver is all I have, and I realize I have a deeper problem. What it turned out it was that Microsoft now expects you to have a piece of security software called TMP. And that was an option that my motherboard had, but I would have had to go into the BIOS and turn it on, because back at the time when I bought it, that wasn't on by default. So I turn it on, and then it turns out that Windows has stored in my registry that I don't have TMP. So even though it's on now, Windows thinks it's not on, so it won't update anything, because it's saying, oh, he doesn't have the software. So I had to edit the Windows registry to make it recognize that, no, I do have TMP now. And after that, things smoothed out and I got everything updated. But still, the VR software is fun, because one of the things that it regularly does is it doesn't gracefully exit out when I quit it. It will crash. And when it crashes, it sometimes loses track of which microphone that I was using and where it is. So during recording, the software crashed, and when I restarted again, it forgot where my microphone was. Everybody could hear me in VR chat, but OBS was not recording a word. So we have 6 videos of complete silence on my end. Not only has that happened, but Artisan also ran into a glitch where he could no longer see YouTube video in the VR system. So he's actually commenting blind for like 3 videos before he realizes that he can watch the video in YouTube by lifting up his headset, and he just... So, it's great. We're doing great. Anyway, though, let's get on to the next one, which is The Soul of the Soul by Penny Stowers. Spa, everybody's favorite location.
I'm going to massage your soul now? Yeah, man. Wait, my soul? I'm sorry, I left the lights on at the house. I have to go turn them off.
Oh my god, look at the sex appeal on their company mascot.
And that's when she said, I'm gonna swallow your soul.
What are you talking about? I've been to that place.
Has she ever said anything to you about your soul?
You mean soul?
It's like an actual
S-O-L.
split screen.
Yeah, my soul.
It's the most
Like,
romantic
my ghost,
thing is having
you
the
know,
pull
or
directly
whatever.
between you and
You
your date.
illiterate?
I'm fucking cursed.
We don't know if
with
there
what
could
I
be a
am.
What do you need
sister.
to do about it?
Help me.
It's so good.
Whoa,
Prove they're a soul-stealing cult.
break in. I'm not helping you break in anywhere.
Jared. They have my soul.
And they'll have you in the back of a police car. Why would I help you with this crazy plan?
Like the insertion of just
Yeah, that
sound
big
effects
couple
that
could
just
have
play
a
out.
woman in there.
I'm going just long enough for the
Everyone
cougar
wants
woman
the
cut out when
cougar
I'm
woman.
leaving.
Don't be like that. If you're helping me break in, you can help.
Who the fuck are you guys?
Who are you? If the cougar woman could have. That's next
Yeah,
door.
that's next door, man.
Oh, all right. Thanks.
Oh god. The real question is, who's the one getting shot? Is it the criminals or the people in the thrift store?
Well, we probably won't have to worry about the cops coming over here now. We have to
Must have been the criminals, because the cops wouldn't have showed up if Mom and Pop hadn't called.
Hell. Wait. Where's the cougar woman cut out?
You dumb. Everyone wants that thing. It's half the reason anyone comes to this party in the first place. They lock it up in the back, where they perform all their rituals. Some rituals.
Whatever you want to believe. Let's just get back there so we can leave.
I think I saw another exit down there. Let's try
To stumble over that line, Reed, so we can leave.
Wait, no. I just wasn't saying exit. No, it wasn't. What do you want?
Bathroom.
The cougar
My
woman.
friend needed to
The
use
cougar
bathroom.
woman.
Shit. Fine.
Just ask for the cougar woman.
Quiet. My sisters are all sleeping. I'll take you to the bathroom.
They reward honesty.
What a ripoff. They're just gonna touch his soul again. Oh my. Ah, no! The animating the swallow going down. Oh my word.
Okay, well there you go. That's a big payoff for this video.
What are you doing snooping around?
Where's the cougar woman cut out?
I don't know. Nobody knows. Somebody stole it last night.
Oh, really?
Yes. If you don't grab your friend and leave now, I'll call the cops and tell them you did it.
Jeez.
Thought he was in there this morning. How did it get stolen last night?
What about the dude's soul?
I'm taking Weber, man.
Henry, I couldn't find the cougar woman cut out, but I... Oh my god!
I figured it out. If I cut off my feet, I can hide my soul. You're right. Soul
Well, there you go. It's a happy ending. He figured out how to solve his problem.
I can hide them now. My soul can be safe.
Yay, happy ending!
What? Huh?
Yeah, happy ending!
Huh?
He won! He did it! Success!
The soul is stored in the feet.
So that was Penny Stowers with Soul of the Soul. If you like that one, then you can go and give it a 5 in the votes. That one is actually one of my personal favorite videos. Before I go on, I just want to point out, you can see I'm alone. This is the problem of technical failure. You wind up isolated. You got to keep up with technology to stay with everybody. But anyway, that video was one of my favorites because I feel like there was such a level of just... like, I don't know what I'm doing, and a lot of things are being jury-rigged altogether, but there is 3,000% confidence that I am going to do it, and this is how I want it to go. Like, there's the scene where they've got the pole in between the two characters having a conversation. Like, I can kind of feel the evolving idea behind that. Where you say, you draw that scene, and then you kind of look at it, and you're like, ah, geez, that pole's really kind of thick. They wouldn't be able to see through it. It'd be such an awkward conversation. And then he just decided to go ahead and, like, lampshade it. Because that would be funnier. And same with, like, Cougar Woman. I wonder if Cougar Woman started off as a central conceit for anything. Or if he was like, all right, I'll do something real quick. And he started by drawing, okay, here we are at the nail salon. It's like, don't touch my soul. And he runs out of there, and we've got the Cougar Woman just to fill up white space. And then he's like, oh, I've still got time. I could keep going. So he just, like, makes it about the Cougar Woman because it's this very standout prop in the whole thing. No, just that sense of, like, almost improvisational comedy is something that I really enjoy. And not everybody knows this, actually, but the Mentally Advanced series was very improvisational as well. Like, I would actually just sit down, and I didn't write a script for it, really. I would just start belting out jokes and having character interactions, and then do all the editing later. So that whole sense, I feel like, is just a lot of fun, and I absolutely love it to death. Not to mention, I got to appreciate that was pretty long for the fact that it was all hand drawn, which meant that must have taken really a lot of time. Somebody had to sit down and draw each of those frames. And yeah, sure, it's not like the highest quality of drawing, but for the speed at which it got done, like, I gotta give props to that. in the original recording, 2-Bit and Artisan also chimed in with, agreement. They're like, yeah. And they had a couple of funny things to say. I thought about going back and being like, hi guys, I'm a time traveler from the future. Don't watch that AI video. It was a waste of time. But I realized how much time it would take. The time crunch for this year has been a little worse than last year. For one, we have a few more videos. And for two, everybody's work situation has changed a little bit for this year. Everybody's general time management situation. So Artisan actually took a day off of work to help with the recording. Luckily, not the day that we're throwing away, and he took that time off for the fun of it. We all socialize and everything a little bit after we're done with the recording. But once I realized that the recordings were screwed up, it was too late to bring everybody back in. So, yeah, and now at this point, I'm kind of down to the wire. It is now Thursday. This video is due on Saturday. So I gotta finish these recordings for, there's a few more videos before we're done. But anyway, though, yeah, I love the heck out of that one. That is like my favorite type of submission. Last year, my personal favorite probably was Dr. Scrimgar, because he reminded me a lot of when me and my friends used to get together. Like Alan and I would get together, we'd do the Alan Hour, just coming up with fun live action ideas. And this one hit very close to home for me as something like, okay, I'm going to do an animation, and it's just going to be about stuff that I think is funny, and I hope other people think it's funny. And I'm going to say, I thought it was funny. Like, I thought a lot of that was pretty fun. I enjoyed the heck out of that. So thanks for that submission. Yeah, again, that was Penny Stowers. But coming up next, we have got Capgraced, I have no idea how it's pronounced, by King of Something. So here we go. Got a lot of laundry there on the floor. Oh, hey, penguin with an eye patch. Is he a pirate? Or like a super cool spy?
My uncle was a penguin. We're both flightless birds, it's relatable. Oh, no, not an eye patch. You know that he's dangerous.
I mean, talking to a crowd of other stuffed animals, so... That door is so grimy.
Well, he's either dangerous or in danger from himself.
Okay. Thought we were going somewhere with this fish on a stick for a second.
Alright. He's being haunted by a spirit fish.
Is he? Why was he addressing the stuffed animals to start with? I don't see where the... Okay, so it attacked him. No, he's dead. His soul!
Oh my word. His soul is leaving his body. He died. We watched
took his whole body.
He became a force ghost.
Alright, so...
Turn around,
yeah,
buddy.
From this
Turn
music.
around. There's a bear right behind you.
It's not wrong to assume the bear's gonna have sex with the cat, right? That's what I'm getting out of this music. Cat, not interested. I guess cat rejected him. It's a filthy door.
That certainly happened.
It's a different penguin, I think, because that one doesn't have the eye patch. What are we meant to imply? Okay, the penguin saw you attempt to sexually harass that cat. A black screen.
Oh, good. It's still going. Because for a second there, I had no idea what was happening. I'm sure that watching more will help.
Yeah, this is only bound to get more comprehensible as time goes on. I mean, the theme is obviously nobody knows. Nobody knows what I am doing.
Well, my first thought would have been don't touch my soul because, the hand comes down, absorbs the soul, but then it just keeps going. And now I'm just lost. I feel like this person learned that they could...
Man, the length at which nothing is happening is truly staggering. We're rapidly doing nothing.
I feel like this person learned that they could overlay 2 videos, and they just said, I'm gonna do an entire 5 minutes of this
So glad they did. What's with these cats being tortured for this video? I mean, okay, let's not exaggerate. They're not being tortured.
And he's got at least 2 penguins who are missing an eye.
This is probably the same penguin. Do you think he sewed his own eye patch for these birds? Like, that's kind of cool. You have a stuffed animal and you're like, you know what, I'm just going to give it an eye patch. Make him stand out a little bit more.
Alan would have loved this.
Oh, yeah. Such a shame that he had to go out of town.
See, it's got weird chromatic aberrations. It's got a dog.
Back of a dog's head. Handprints. Still no idea what's going on. You see these stuffed animals? They're here. They're in my frickin' house. Here's the penguin. Like, I don't know, the music all implies something's happening, but you're just you're jiggling a penguin. You're jiggling a penguin. This is not a story beat. This is a jiggled penguin. And you're jiggling the penguins. This could be over minutes ago.
I've felt that way maybe 3 times now in this video, and you know what, I'm starting to think maybe we should be done. We could just walk away. 5 minutes, 39 seconds.
We're gonna have to cut some of it.
We should just... But we just end when I say, you know what, I think we should be done, and then it just cuts abruptly. Alright, good. Alright, we should skip to this bit.
This is the best part of the video. That was King of Something with Capgrassed, Capgraced, something like that. I don't know. After that video, 2-Bit Artisan and I had a little discussion as to whether or not we did this to ourselves by having one of the possible entries be Nobody Knows. Because when we set that out there, we were kind of thinking like, nobody knows what happened to that boy after he rode into the sunset. Or like a mystery, or at the very least a joke that would be in the context of your story. But we got a couple of submissions that were very clearly, nobody knows what this video is about. And they're all the worst videos really, except for the AI one. The AI one, you could argue the AI, because you can't really look into the AI's internals and understand what it's thinking, since it's really all just based on math and data. Nobody really knows what the AI is thinking, so, I'm just going to put Nobody Knows as the theme followed by the AI. But yeah, it was a bit of a mistake. We kind of have to be careful when we give the themes because we run the risk of setting ourselves up with one of those genie curses or whatever, where people willfully misinterpret the theme to be something terrible. I'm not even sure if that one was Nobody Knows. I certainly don't know what they were going for. There's possibly a hint of like, don't touch my soul, because it seemed like there was some soul stuff implied. But the thing that I think is craziest about that video was that it went over time. There was a time limit of 5 minutes, and somehow that video got submitted and it was longer than 5 minutes, and I can't imagine like sitting there and being like, well, I can't cut any of this. Like, I gotta turn it in over time because otherwise I'm gonna lose the integrity of this story somehow. But I don't know, I come away with a couple of interesting things. One of those things is you should put away your laundry, because that's a lot of laundry just laying out on the floor. 2 is, where do you get a bear that fat? Like, do they sell those, or do you make your own stuffed animals? Because I could see maybe why, like for sure I could understand if you made your own stuffed animals, you sewed your own stuffed animals, made your own accessories, that for a video subject you just really want to do something with the stuffed animals, because that's your art, and that's what you want to share. So if those stuffed animals were like handmade, and you're very proud of them, then that's cool, and that's interesting. But for sure, the story was absolutely incomprehensible. I have no idea what you were trying to say or what it was about. I'm going to attempt to summarize it. It seems to me that there was a revolutionary penguin, and that penguin was conspiring to do some sort of evil until a cat toy killed him. After he died, his ghost possessed the fat bear and compelled it to do evil. And I think that maybe the fat bear time traveled. because we go back in time to before the penguin lost his eye, and then the possessed fat bear beats up the penguin, and that's why in the future the penguin is missing an eye, because the fat bear beat him up. That's what I got. That's my theory. But anyway, though, so let's go ahead and move on. The next one is by Phoenix Jones, and it is Homonculus Simulator. So here we go.
Look at the look. Oh my gosh, the homunculus with the hair. We're statting into beauty.
It's from Star in Yellow.
Is that the cupcakes cape?
Yeah.
Oh hey, I think that's the one I made. No, we missed it.
This is so upbeat. Must be making a really good homunculus. Gonna take over.
Wait, we failed.
Failure.
Oh, we had Rupert.
Failure.
I wasn't briefed on the rules of the game. So that was Phoenix Jones with Homunculus Maker. It's a short one, but that's because that one was actually a program. So if you go to that video, in the description it has a link to a program where you can tell it something and it'll create the homunculus and give them different sets of outfits. I don't know why there's a failure state or why my video failed, but you could try and maybe your video wouldn't fail. So that one's a little bit more technical. I don't actually know the details of how it was made, so I can't comment much on it, but I can say that the really upbeat music was a lot of fun and made it, for as short as it was, kind of enjoying to sit through. So yeah, I don't know. That's good because that means that you can try it a good couple of times and not get really frustrated right off. I'm curious what other kinds of accessories you can get. But yeah, since there's not a whole lot to say about it, we'll just move right on to the next one. And the next one is Open Air Secret by Open Air. So here we go. Oh, this looks like a pony analyst. Oh, this better not be click. You can't trust these guys. If this is clickbait, I'm gonna cut everything except for the premise, the conclusion, and maybe one funny joke if there is one and I feel generous. We're just kind of sitting here in dead silence.
You know what? I think a single chuckle didn't help. I think that made things worse. Speak to me.
Wait, horses can't read?
Jeez, too big. And that one got you. So that was Open Air with Open Air's Secret, and man, that video just got 2-bit right between the eyes with that joke. He was cracking up, cackling, laughing, and afterward I was like, man, why was that so funny to you? And he goes, I don't know. It was just so good. And I was like, did you not see it coming? Because there's 3 themes, and one of them is I'm illiterate. He's sitting there with the book, like, that had to be the joke. He's just like, I wasn't thinking about it. So it just really got him. I don't think I would have enjoyed that video nearly as much if 2-bit had not just split open like that. Like, it reminds me, my wife once told me this joke. She goes, what's brown and sticky? A stick. And she just starts laughing so hard. It's like gut-busting agony. And then I started laughing because it's so funny that her reaction was so over the top to this. And then she starts laughing harder because her favorite thing about the joke is how bad it is. And it's like that. Like, by itself, you put a man by himself in a room. I don't know how many people would laugh that hard at, oh, I can't read. But you put 2 men in that room and one of them cracks up for no reason. Suddenly it's a hilarious joke. So thanks to 2-bit, I've had a much more fun time with that Open Air video than I think I would have normally. I don't know if they are a pony nanalist or anything. Nanalism's not quite as big as it used to be. I checked out their channel and they've just got the 1 video and like 1 subscriber, so I don't know if it's an alt channel or something. Something is mentioned about pony fan fiction. But analysis is like a whole thing I could talk about. I remember when those guys first started to rise, that was about when YouTube began to promote videos that posted more and went for longer. And so one of the tactics people used was that kind of like, well, this would be easy for, I'll talk about something popular, something that's like in the algorithm. and I can just talk at length about this thing. So you started seeing all kinds of nanolists popping up. Silverquill was one of the most popular ones, the Dr. Wolf, and there was a couple of others. I don't know which ones are still around today. But for a little bit, I mean, like, we got away from pretty much music, animation, and everything else, and really the only thing that the system would promote was phoneme analysis, more or less. And I knew this was coming, but gradually, you know, as you start to have less primary material, really the nanalists can't comment on much. Like, the nanalists aren't making music or animations exactly, so if you focus just on them disproportionately and you don't have any like people making things, then eventually there's nothing more for them to comment on. So I think that now they just talk about like official works and things like that because there's not much else. And I don't know. YouTube is a strange thing. I don't know how much longer we can go on doing what it is that YouTube does. But one thing that's always given me a little bit of hope about these systems is the fact that making things, it is necessary to have these ecosystems at all. Like, you can't create a whole platform that's just about dunking on stuff if there's no stuff to dunk on, which means that it's still worthwhile to actually learn how to make art and everything, because you need to be able to make that next popular thing that the whole internet's going to dunk on. Right now, Amazing Digital Circus is really popular, and so that's something that came out, and because it's one of the few things that was really high effort and got attention, like, that's a really big deal right now. And so they came out with that, and like everybody came in to dunk on it and comment on it and do all this YouTube stuff and everything. But man, no matter how you feel about Monkey Wrench or Amazing Digital Circus or Vivzy Pop or anyone else who's like actually making things right now, Worthy Kids is a really good one. I love Worthy Kids stuff. Anybody who's like actually making stuff, like those people are the real heroes of the online world, because without them we got nothing. So yeah, anyway though, so speaking of actual artists, this next one is an artist. I've worked with him some, and I know him. I've talked to him. I've played games with him. It's Carabella with Tank Horse. So here we go.
Alright, Pedal, we on track?
Well, I'm following the line,
it's a
following
sheep.
the map. You know,
It's a horse.
Kind of like greasing a turret, right?
This looks really good.
Yeah, you know,
It's a good tank.
Until you've greased every single tooth on that sprocket. And so
I'm here to kick butts. I'm
Tuning
here
out
to
your
flank.
coworker during the drive.
To send these people some extra munitions.
Where do you say we're going again?
We should be going north. My compass is saying west. We're all only seeing rolling hills. I haven't seen a single.
That's because they're camouflage, mate. They're all wearing camouflage, lying low in the hills. But they can't shoot us.
Look out, they've got you surrounded. They're camouflaged.
All right, we're meant to be getting to a village. I'm not seeing a village. you got the map. Where are we going? What's?
I see the X and yeah, they seem to be going fine for now.
I got my eyeglass out. I got my spyglass. I'm not seeing a thing.
Look, mate, we'll get there when we get there, all right?
Yeah, just enjoy the hills, enjoy the travel. You know, it might get a bit boring. We seem to be seem to be out there, but I'm sure I'm going to follow.
All right. Hey, stop. Hey, stop the. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna do a quick recce. I'm gonna find out where we are. I am not seeing a damn thing out here. All right.
Okay. Oh, mate, look at that view.
There, mate.
Why you mention it? Just
where is the war? I am looking for the war.
Off the side of the cliff.
All right, I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna start walking.
They must have given us the wrong map. I don't know why they need to put the oil type on a map, but you know.
Good tank work. Good tank crew. So that was Carabella with Tank Horse, and that was just good, solid entertainment. Very good banter, a lot of fun, good humor out of that. A very well-drawn tank. Horse is very expressive. He reused the horses a lot to save himself some time, but you know, he had such a short amount of time to get it all done. So a couple of creative steps are quite reasonable, given the crunch. But I think that military humor is always a great source of inspiration for banter-based comedy because it's one of those things, there's always a lot of conflict in that sort of setting. If you think about it, it's basically a workplace environment that you're more or less trapped in that sucks in most ways. Like, the food's not very good, they give you a gun, but you're not supposed to use it on your coworkers, even though you maybe hate them. Your bosses are all doing their own things. They might be insane or stupid or anything, but it doesn't matter. You have to follow their orders. And of course, you follow orders into a situation you don't like, and you're trapped far away from home. You've got no choices whatsoever. So it's just like conflict, conflict, conflict. And where it comes to writing comedic scripts, like that is a fantastic natural source of stories and conflict. It's also why so many military guys have so many good stories, because it's just sort of like, oh, have you ever had a lot of interesting conflict in your life? And like almost any military guy is gonna have, he's like, oh, have I? And they'll start telling you about it. In fact, speaking of tanks, I once had a guy tell me about, he was in a tank, and one of the guys in the tank, I guess, was in charge of reporting when stuff was damaged after they got hit by something. So this was in Iraq, and I guess this guy had gotten disillusioned with the whole thing. So anytime they drove by like an IED, even if it didn't damage the tank at all, what he would always do is he would just like write out everything's lost. Like everything's lost. He'd just put it on the paperwork, and then he'd scoop all the electronics out of the tank and then go sell it on the black market, knowing the military was going to replace it. This is just like the story that I heard, so I don't know how easy it is to do something like that, but allegedly this was something the guy did with regularity. So that thought of like, here's my coworker, I hate him, he's doing all this stuff, but like, you're also trapped with him so long, so many hours, and eventually you just kind of like don't want to interact with whatever they're doing. Because if you get involved, like, you got to be out there with them again for another 8 hours or something. It's terrible. I feel like even if you haven't been in the military, man, if there's a lot of different lines of work that get you into a very similar state of mind. Back when I used to work land survey, I remember once my boss dropped me off in front of like a cliff. It was this like really deep ditch. I don't know if a ravine is an appropriate word, but I had to take all my survey equipment and climb down the ditch and then climb back up on the other side to get to the survey point. And as soon as I get over on the other side of this ditch, sure enough, there's like a road right there. So I'm just like exhausted. I don't want to talk about, like, I just do my survey stuff, back down the ditch, back up the other side, get in the truck, I'm done, I did it. So we start up the van, we drive around, and we go, we take the road back there onto the next point because he's just like looking and he's like, oh, okay, we got to go this way. And so I just watched that point that I had to climb to just pass me by on the truck. I'm like, okay. And again, nothing. Because this is just a day in that job. You know, you just put up with things. So, yeah. Fun subject, good material, good banter. Also, I kind of enjoyed that they had the Australian accent because I'm sitting there wondering what kind of war the Australian horses have to go to. Who are they fighting? Like, who are the enemy? I mean, I could make the joke. It's like sentient emus. It's one of Australia's most famous battles against the emus. But anyway, though, I've gone on enough. This is it from the future. This being done means that all my editing is done and everything else. I'm pretty much wrapped up, which is great. So it's time to return you guys back to the past, back before I knew whether or not I was going to make the deadline. And as I do so, coming up is Tandara. And before we go on, Tandara's video is labeled, Is Dark Souls About Transgender? Or something like that. And when I got this, I was a little concerned about the title, because there's not a lot of good reasons to make a video titled something like that. Long story short, it's clickbait. So here it is. Is Dark Souls about being transgender? Dark Souls is not really about fascism or being transgender. Anyway, here we go, Tandara.
Is Dark Souls about this transgender? Well, Dark Souls 2 is not exactly about fascism or trans people. I fucking hate Smelter Demon.
So that was Tandara, and I don't have a lot of thoughts on that. I was really nervous when it was sent to me because, like, you know, they're just like, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, Dark Souls is it about being transgender, and I it's like, do we have to go here? Is this where we need to go for this video?
Yeah,
it wasn't too offensive
with
or
the
anything.
commentary, and so I just started talking about the game itself. Oh yeah, I've played the third one. I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't played any of them. I mean, I don't know if they'd be up my alley or not. Like, I really like the original Armored Core series, but I haven't played the newest Armored Core yet either.
Oh, it's good. I really like it. I have not played the old one, so I can't tell you if you're gonna like it.
I hear it's good. The old ones, you know what I really liked about the old ones? I liked how inaccessible they were. And you get me on that. I know Artisan gets me on that. Like, Artisan right now is working on his own...
So, I'm making a version of Dragon Warrior Monsters, or now known as Dragon Quest Monsters 1, that's more convoluted and obtuse. Yeah.
Yeah, he was telling me he's playing this game. It's like, oh, you can only get certain moves by breeding monsters in certain ways, and you got to get this and that, and like you don't get to keep any of the things that you breed. And it sounds like I was like, geez, no wonder this caught on. And Artisan was like, no, I want it to suck more. And so he's like building it up mod. Yeah, and the Armored Core series is kind of that same way, where it's just sort of like, you know, you have to build your robot one part at a time, and it's like if you've got the wrong generator or you've got the wrong radiator or whatever, you just like can't hardly pilot. It's overcomplicated, and it was really inaccessible to a lot of people. But if you liked that tedious robot building, then it was fun. I liked it.
It's okay, average viewer. I enjoy accessible video games. I had fun with Breath of the Wild just like everybody else did.
Two-bit also.
As far as the video is concerned, I don't really see what point they were trying to make. I mean, like, you can change your avatar in the game. Like, okay. I don't, like, there's no, like, mechanics or anything in Dark Souls that I'm aware of, or that I heard in the video, because I can only, like, half hear it. That really relies on the gender of your character.
I thought maybe they were getting close to maybe making an argument towards their thesis when they were like, you don't know how long you spend in the tomb, so maybe you spend your time in there reflecting, and you can choose your what your gender identity is, and then you wake up from the tomb. I'm like, okay, they're going somewhere, and then they stopped going anywhere.
I think that it's just kind of one of those typical YouTube things. Is these days, you know, you're kind of expected to produce stuff all the time, and it's not necessarily important to produce anything meaningful or to say things that need to be said. You just need to be saying things, and so long as people are seeing ads on the videos, then you're part of the system in a appropriate fashion as far as the system is concerned.
As long as people feel compelled to click on things in response to the things you say, then YouTube is happy for you.
Yeah, and that was like something you might click on, I guess, if you were like, oh my, what might this be about? And then it was all like watchable. Like I wasn't like, oh man, I can't believe this. So yeah, it's all.
I will say it made me want to go back and play Dark Souls 1 again.
Okay, well there you go.
Which is funny because it was about the second Dark Souls.
Oh, it was? Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, that was the second one.
Oh.
Well, at any rate, though, great video to run an ad, and that.
I hope you get clicks, Tandara.
Yeah, good luck with that. Yeah. All right, let's go on to the next one, which is Curly Stepper with the ghost in my soul or something or other. Yay!
Yay!
Aha! After all these nights of searching, I have finally found a ghost. Oh, I am so getting my own TV show.
No, please.
Which one is the ghost?
Don't touch my soul.
They both could be.
Don't worry.
Wait, that's not a ghost. That's a soul.
Yes, to myself. I'm just here to ask you a few questions, if that's okay.
He's a robot. See, he's got...
No. The ghost has a soul contained within a padlock.
The guy on the right is clearly a robot.
That still haunts me.
He's got a lock on him. Only robots have locks on. The other guy's the
The
ghost.
control panel is at.
Right.
For the soul
He has the
panel.
typical ghost clown makeup on.
Oh, okay. I guess I got called a bitch for nothing then.
I was a foolish and impulsive child, like most teenagers. And so was my friend group. And we were... Don't touch me!
I'm not.
Is that his mom? Is that just a girls age faster than boys, so she's like a little bit more?
She only got one eye.
A little bit taller,
and therefore stronger, and therefore is a valuable part of their adolescent gang.
All of us decided that we were too
She can reach the top shelf without a stool.
Tell us what to do.
You need that in every gang.
Once we were inside,
they're gonna go on heists, and you know how hard it is to take a stool on a heist? They need the tall girl.
Once we looked inside, we found incantations that we believe could grant eternal life once read aloud.
How do you suppose she lost her eye?
We thought it was all a bunch of hooey.
Reaching for something on the top shelf, but it fell and got her in the eye.
Me to read it out loud.
Was it a word reader?
Of course I obliged. But there was one serious issue. I was an illiterate motherfucker. I couldn't read that passage to literally save my life.
He's just
and
like
we
me.
all had to pay the consequences.
Could none of them read? Are they all illiterate?
Oh, what a fool I was.
Oh, I see. So in an ironic twist, you all died in the end instead of becoming immortal.
No, worse. The magic ended up changing us into giants. Horrifying, ugly, abominational, Lovecraftian horror monsters.
Oh, no.
And then we died.
That would be great for your street cred as a middle schooler.
I mean, it's.
Every gang needs a giant eldritch monster. They can reach even higher than the top shelf.
You could reach the top shelf to the next aisle over.
And now I'm forever trapped to hunt these woods for all eternity.
Are they in the woods? I thought they were at the circus.
No, the purple.
I thought those were circus
it's
tents.
Spooky. It's a spooky outdoor purple woods.
Friends, you can even come with me.
I thought the guy on the left was a ghost clown.
Very well.
I thought he was a ghost clown and they were at the circus.
No touching.
Right. Sorry. Why don't you like being touched?
I just don't. Not even when I was human.
Oh, fair enough. Oh, and who do you think owned that book? Some kind of witch?
Nobody knows.
Oh well, I guess not all questions need to be answered.
Well, they got all three themes. I'm proud of them.
Yeah, that's all three. Wait, they told us all three. What the heck? I just want to say that I really appreciate the positive clown representation. We just don't see enough of that in media in the West these days, and I've got to say that I am a clown enjoyer. I'm a wizard, like wizards first, but clowns are a close second for me.
I enjoyed the big silly looking moon. I always enjoy a big silly looking moon in the background.
What I'll say about that one is I appreciate the effort that's gone into that video, and I can see that there is attachment to it. This is clearly something that they use it as their profile pic. And but I will say that they could probably tighten up their scripting a lot, because a lot of that story, it wasn't like a bad story, but it did need to be a lot, pithier. Just like click, click, click. Here we go. Here's the jokes. Here's the storytelling. Because there were a couple of things like they would, for example, why don't you like to be touched? And then he's just like, well, I just don't like to be touched. And that should have either been a joke or not even really been said. Like, those were your two options. Because to have a character be like, well, why don't you like to be touched? Oh, I just don't like it. Like, okay.
There's not really any payoff.
Weird. Yeah, it's kind of awkward, and like, we already got it. He said like 2 or 3 times, don't touch me. So as the audience, like, we know he doesn't like to be touched.
Yeah.
So you could cut that, and that
that,
would, the nice thing
that
about...
was sin number 1, right there. He told us, don't touch me, that's assault. You're not allowed to do that. You told us what the theme was.
Yeah, we were totally going to guess at the theme like we totally have been with every other commentary we've done.
We haven't really addressed the themes very much. Everybody's been pretty good about them this year. He hit all 3 of them, so I mean, points for that. But yeah, I was gonna say, so the cutting the material, the nice thing about that is because you're doing a lot of drawing, if you cut some of the stuff and tighten it up, it's less work that you have to do. So it's kind of beneficial in a way. It's nicer for the audience, and also as the person doing the drawing and the animation work, saves you time. So yeah, that's what I would that's what I recommend for it.
I recommend more silly-looking moons and more drawn things and live-action. All things should have a silly moon.
I do. I want to know why the girl is missing an eye. I mean, like, that's kind of one of those things that's fun. Yeah, it's just like you just draw a girl with a missing eye. And she's taller than everybody else. Like, that's actually kind of a nice little bit of character. Sets her apart, makes her memorable.
Yeah, I want to know her backstory. Yeah.
Yeah, how did she lose that eye? Was it in a fight? Was she born like that? She get, like, an infection? Yeah. But anyway, though, on to the next one. It is Wizard Spin by AO. My favorite part was he was a bitch for no reason.
Ooh, MS Paint.
I'm a fan already. I love MS Paint. There's something about it that's just magical. It speaks to my soul. It's horrible to use, but it's nice.
So there's actually a lot more functionality in MS Paint than you realize. It's just that it's not really documented anywhere.
I don't believe it. Photoshop's the only option.
He's summoning a rune.
Oh no, that's Greg.
Oh hey.
Hey, wait.
It's my avatar.
It's Greg in the virtual world.
Oh my God, Greg, you died!
Oh no!
Your soul has been ruptured.
No, he's stealing my soul!
Oh, soul, yeah, soul.
No.
Ha! I still have mine, idiot. That's the wizard artisan. Artisan, why did you steal his soul?
What? No, I've been framed.
All right, so that was Wizard Spin by AO. And
I actually really like this one. I mean, I have a fondness for MS Paint, but he also had just really good contrast, and it was fun to look at. I'm not super sure what was going on, but I liked looking at it.
I was having my soul ripped out, obviously. I mean,
yeah.
You know what's funny, though, about this avatar being the one tortured is I think that this avatar is from a video game or something. Yeah, I was given this avatar by a girl that I met on VR chat. Like, I just ran into her in a random room, and she did, like, custom avatars. And I was just like, I thought she might have been Gooseworks at the time, because, like, just several days prior, I had met the author of, like, the second highest ranking webcomic on webcomics. And I was running around talking to her. And that's a funny story in itself, because I was in that day I was like, oh, I'm gonna play a character, so I was like Lizard Man, and I was running around. I was like, yes, I am Lizard Man, and I was just doing a weird accent and everything like that. But I was being really lazy about it. So at some point I just kind of like dropped the Lizard Man thing and was just having like normal conversations with everybody, but with a stupid accent. And then at some point, like while I was interacting with her, I just like dropped the stupid accent. And then she was just like, "Oh God," and I was like, "Oh yeah, no, that was I was just doing that." But
that's not.
I was like, "Yeah, I don't know what accent would that be." Yeah, but I've been talking to her for like an hour with the accent, and I refused to drop it. And I never let on that I was doing a bit because it was such a lazy bit.
You're too dedicated to the bit, lazy bit, but you were dedicated.
I mean, it was I'm sure the thought in her head.
A repose. What is the word I'm looking for? But an image in this person's head of this voice.
Yeah,
I can see how that.
She was like
frustrating.
Well, she said she's like I can't. She goes, I wasn't sure, but I didn't want to like say something and be rude. And I was like, oh yeah, no, I get it. I mean, like, why would a person do that? Like I was like, I know, you're not wrong. It's not like I got you. It's just sort of like why, like I had no explanation for her as to why I was even doing it. I just started and then got tired of keeping up a character, but kept the accent. So, yeah. But anyway, though, so yeah, another girl though. I thought she might have been Gooseworks because her icon looked like Gooseworks' icon, and I was like, are you Gooseworks? And she was like, no, but people keep asking me that. Who is Gooseworks? And so I explained who Gooseworks was, and then long story short, she was like, I ripped this avatar from this video game. What do you think of it? And I was like, it's beautiful. And this is one of my primary avatars
to
now.
be myself always.
Oh yeah. Speaking of playing characters, man, after I got this avatar, I went into a bar world once, and there were some younger people hanging around. And so my wife, she has tattoos, right? But her dad complains about him. They're like, when you gonna stop doing this? Like, you always say this is gonna be the last one. You go out and you get another one. And he goes, Greg, why don't you stop this? You're her husband. How come you don't, like, discourage him? Like, I don't know. Best I could do is I could just give her, like, really mid-tier reviews on him and be like, yeah, they're kind of meh, you know?
It's all right. You know, it's there. Well, that's a no-win situation. You can't diss a tattoo somebody has because they're on there forever. And so if you say, oh, I hate that, then you're stuck with it. You know? And they'll be like, oh, you hate this part of me. Yeah, that's a losing situation.
Well, the bigger problem, too, is that she asks me, like, what I think, and so she's got all kinds of things that I like. She's like, what do you think of this bird? I'm like, that's a really pretty bird. And then she's like, okay, and she just goes and gets a tattoo of it. So she can't come home. I can't be like, oh, actually, that's a very mid-tier bird. I didn't realize. I was just being nice to the bird.
I didn't realize what the stakes of this were. Yeah.
Her avatar had tattoos on it, and so I came in there and I was just like, I started channeling that conversation with my wife's dad. I was like, you know, you always say you're gonna stop after the next one, and you get another one. When's it gonna stop? She must have had tattoos in real life, or she had a dad who was on her like that in real life, because she got like legitimately angry with me eventually. and then some guy who was like pretending to be Gilbert Gottfried came up and started arguing with me about it. So I had like an argument with Gilbert Gottfried about tattoos for a while. It was an interesting night.
I've been playing VR chat wrong. That sounds way better than what I've done.
Yeah, all you gotta do is just pick fights with strangers over things you don't actually care about, and there you go.
Wait, it's just like 4chan back in the day.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, okay, who the heck were we? Oh yeah, AO's video.
AO.
Yeah,
he ripped the soul out
great
of
job,
your
video.
avatar, Greg.
I like the
AO. He did.
Now.
Yeah, great video, AO. All right, next we've got Alt Mr. M with Sweet Herc or something. Here we go.
Whoa.
All right. Woo.
Give Greg his soul back. That's what you ought to vote. Ooh, a flower. Oh no.
Air raid sirens. Oh god.
Hearing something.
Where are we?
Alright, I'm only gonna give points for just points for being weird.
Yeah.
At least. Oh, I love the sun up there.
What is that thing?
He's going. There he is. He made it.
Oh man.
Hooray!
He's got 2 eyes. I thought he was one.
No, he's reaching out.
Oh, look at that.
Don't touch it.
Manicured finger.
Don't touch it.
Touch it.
It's all he really wants,
Touch
Artisan.
it.
Touch it.
No, he can't. No, that sign that clearly says don't touch it.
Touch it. I want to touch it.
No. Oh, look, that guy's pants are too big.
Yo, those pants. Look at that waist.
What are those? Run.
That's quite a sound effect.
He's gonna touch it.
The guard desk is a little ways away. I hope he touches it.
Don't you
Let the man touch it.
You can't just go around touching things.
I mean, can't tell who's the bad guy really in
Yeah, there we go. That's right, the sign. Soul. That means don't touch.
Ow.
Oh.
Oh, no, our little guy.
Oh,
Look
God.
at his beautiful eye sockets. He was too young for this. Oh. Let's selfish man with a soul.
They should have learned how to read.
All right.
I like it. I like the eye man.
All right, that was Mr. M with Suik or something or other. That was an interesting one. You know what I feel like? Alan, he went out of town, so he missed these recordings, and I feel like now we're starting to hit the actually interesting videos that are like, oh, this is a very, like, oh, we could say something about the direction of the video and the quality of the animation. And
that's the beauty of Vid Somewhere. Only the truly dedicated get to see the good videos. If you stayed through how long this will be, an hour and a half of video, you get to see the fun ones. You were just talking about Gooseworks a little bit. And I like Gooseworks. I first saw a little Rummo by them. And honestly, I got a lot of Gooseworks vibes from the beginning of that, where it's just this weird creature running to some weird destination through weird environments. You're not sure what's going on. If the art style was a little bit cutesier, I feel like you would have hit the nail on the head there.
Well, okay, if we're going to compare him to other YouTubers, I feel like Felix Colgrave is what I got more out of that. Felix Colgrave does a lot with those big eyes and everything. But I will say it may be that he wasn't influenced by either of those YouTubers because although the big eyes had something in common and maybe some of the kind of weird surrealism is also something that Gooseworks does, I feel like people who really enjoy that weird surrealist stuff are not always necessarily trying to copy somebody else. But there are some things that people just find bizarre.
I wasn't trying to say that
but I mean,
I was just saying it was reminiscent because that's sort of my exposure to that weird style of what's going on here.
He did an excellent job of jumping around and hitting good paces on things. He kind of gave us just enough time to form an opinion on something, and he showed us something new. And it was spaced out in a way and well connected that it felt like there was some intelligence there that we just couldn't access, and that's gripping. I think that's what a lot of this surrealist stuff is trying to do. It's trying to imply some kind of mind that we can't comprehend.
The big eye thing is one of those deals you see a lot of times when shows are trying to be sort of a little bit on the weirder side because the eyes are kind of a gateway into the soul and they're very expressive. So if you have a character that's kind of weird, a little bit hideous, but you give them like great big expressive eyes, then they're weirdos that evoke empathy. And I think that's always a fun trick, and he did that pretty well with this little guy there. And then he vaporized him, turned him into bones.
I was so sad. I was so distraught. That poor little eyeball, man.
You know, I wonder, maybe for next year, one of our themes ought to be like, my, what big eyes you have. And then that would encourage a lot of people to like draw or submit videos where the characters have great big eyes and they wind up making accidentally very expressive and like empathetic characters.
I'm 100% on board. I'm in. I want to see more eye guys.
More eye guys. More eye guys 2025. That'll be next year.
Eye creatures.
One thing I will say, I feel like that video probably was the most thematic as Don't Touch My Soul. Like of all the Don't Touch My Soul, that one felt pretty firmly in it.
I really wanted to touch it, dude. I was reaching. I wanted it. I wanted it so bad.
What would have happened if he touched it? We'll never know. But anyway, though, on to the next one. Okay, we got Trog Diet with an engine demo.
Woo! We need to do Trog Diet at a gym, on treadmills.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello!
It's Trog Diet.
It is now July 7th,
I love that.
2010. We
That's
have
the
no
Troglodyte.
time to waste. We are in beautiful Pennsylvania. When we last left off, we were working with our beloved game Sisyphisticuffs.
I remember that game. I never even played it.
Let's do the basics. We got a combat system. We can pick up great swords. We can throw them. We got music. I disabled the music because it's fucking horrible. I got.
Did he upgrade
the
the combat motions?
Multiplayer?
Rolled out the
Oh yeah, he had multiplayer.
Update, where you got to download every single download of your game. It charges you like 20 cents. So they rolled it back allegedly.
Man's
really
moving right now. He
Yeah.
never
And they're a
stops
publicly
running,
traded
this
company
guy.
anyway,
Look at this.
so they can
He's
do the same
recording
thing for
and
5
he's
years
still
in a row.
moving.
Around October,
He's like, I'm gonna do my.
one-time fiasco. I picked up a book about how to write your own game engine using SDL.
Well, I've heard of
SDL,
standing
it's a
desks,
library.
and
It's not technically
this is
from
new.
scratch,
Hold on.
but whenever any YouTuber
Troglodyte's just gonna like write his
I'm writing
own
it from
game
scratch.
engine.
What they really mean is that they're you know, using a bunch of pre-existing libraries to expedite the process.
Yeah.
So, you know, more power to them. That's why the libraries are there.
Well, I mean,
So,
you know, that's the
we got a
next
Flappy
logical
Bird
thing to
game
do.
running first. And then I figured that's on 2D, you know, I can work with 3D instead. And so here we are with 3D. I got basic cubes rendering. I could like distort the
3D
cubes.
Flappy Bird.
You know, you're just rendering a bunch of triangles.
I don't know if
So
society
you
is
move the
ready for
cubes
3D
around.
Flappy Bird.
If you see the lines around, then that's a bounding volume
Well,
hierarchy.
look,
It's how I
society wasn't ready for
spatially
3D
subdivide
Mario.
the entities
This is modern 3D
to
Mario.
keep track of where they are relative to each other. And it also makes it easier to select them. So I'm casting array from the mouse, which intersects the object,
He
so I can
built
select
this?
it. So we already have a basic scene system working, kind of similar to Unity, but a lot more tools need to be written.
That guy's a
unfortunately,
fucking idiot. Let's go on a bike ride
The next
instead.
step was, well, I've you know, I worked with the DVH.
All right.
What the heck is that? We're watching him bike. We're watching him walk. We're watching him bike. We're watching him work out his brain by rebuilding 3D graphics from the ground up.
It's kind of this thing here. I don't really.
This man
was a
never
horrible
stops.
first attempt, so
I don't know what
Man,
to think anymore.
I feel
do
like
gotta
I'm watching one of
admit,
those
like-
memes where it's
I wrote a
like
ray
the guy
tracer. I
talking
wrote a
with the
voxel
tempo
ray
run going
tracer.
on and somebody cooking.
I
You know,
read a
it's just
research
all the
paper
videos overlap.
for
I'm overstimulated,
figuring out how to
and we're adding a
efficiently
layer on top of
store
that.
and
We're part of the
manipulate
problem.
voxels on the CPU. And so
I
got
do
those
gotta
data
say,
structures working,
Troglodyte's-
then I
And
wrote a
on
ray
top of all
tracer
that, I have to
where I
watch this
cast
through my
array
His
nose.
level of
pixels in
energy
the
is
monitor to intersect with this
is
uniform
aspirational,
grid
at
that I
least.
store
I
the
mean,
voxels in.
Yes, it is.
And we
It's
have
just-
this
It's
funny looking thing
it's
right
scary.
This is the Stanford bunny. You know, it's like the hello world for meshes. Every single mesh in a video game is made of triangles, and so
Now
what
he's
I did
rendering whole
is I ballooned up
animals.
those triangles and I intersected them with a regular voxel grid. You can see the grid here. If I just like,
I
turn
do
on
I
these
do like how
emote
it's like if you're not
boxes.
interested in this 3D graphics thing, like here's my
Like
ride
bunnies,
through
you know, you can
the
erase
park.
all
And
your
yeah.
I hate bunnies personally, so I want
You
to
know
destroy
that
it.
that is
And
a
around
Vid
us,
Somewhere
if you pay
tradition,
attention,
going back
you can
from
see that
even
it's
before
an
Vid Somewhere.
infinite
This is the walking
Perlin
video.
noise
It's just
cave.
this
We
time,
can destroy
it's
the
on top of
voxels.
a more
Oh my gosh,
interesting
you're
video.
right.
I
hope
do
he
like
brings a
nature.
vehicle at
Direction,
the
we
end.
can draw.
That would be
It's
traditional.
like a really
I-
shitty 3D Microsoft
I don't. I'm
Paint.
enjoying
It's
his bike ride.
monochromatic.
This
That'd be
is
a
a
great
nice
problem.
bike ride.
That was a problem I was having with OpenGL.
Look at this.
was
This is
buffering
lovely.
the
Pennsylvania's
I don't know, it's a little
lovely.
fast.
Then I
for me.
switched
It really
to another
is, though.
engine called BGFX at the
Yeah,
recommendation.
it's so
of
green.
Rafka
Track
Cackles.
forever.
And that'll take
Gorgeous.
some time to build.
Oh my word, this man!
Difficulty with the bounding volume hierarchy. It's kind of difficult to see, but you can see out.
What is this, piano?
Entities. But now.
Okay, I'm getting more and more impressed by Troglodyte. Okay, first of all, he is a world-class athlete, this man. He never
Okay, well,
stops.
one of
He
the main
can-
problems
look at him
is
ride that
if I
bike. Look at
spawn
him
enough
walk.
chunks,
But he's also got
then I
programming.
quit, and then we
He's
get
also
some
got
kind of-
piano playing. He's also
Every week
got
we get a- I think it's a
talking
double
about whatever
deletion.
we're looking at.
Man.
Yeah.
So that was Troglodyte with like 3 things at once, programming his own engine, doing a bike ride, and playing music all at the end there. I don't think he fit a theme or anything like that, but that'd be the one thing he didn't do in that video pretty much. Like, man, I gotta find out, like, what does Troglodyte eat? How much sleep does he get? And maybe I should be exercising as much as him because, man, like, be able to just, like, wake up and do all that stuff and be like, I'm gonna do it again tomorrow, too?
Yeah, he should open up
It's-
like a boot camp thing where we just go like live with him, like we pay him some money and we just live with him for a year, and just do the same thing he does.
Oh, you don't want that. You know what he'll make us do? He'll make us jump up and touch our knees to our chest.
Oh
my gosh.
I can't do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
No, I
Look, I want to be like Troglodyte, but without putting in the work. You gotta understand.
Yeah, why can't I just have the gains? Why do I have to run the mile or the
He
marathon
should
every day? Why
charge
can't I
us
just have
for
the body
dark
to be able to?
rituals. Dark rituals that we can extract his youth out of him and place it into us, and then he can just go out and exercise and become youthful again. You know,
Yeah,
that's a winning system.
Yeah, what we need to do is we need to meet Emperor Palpatine first. Learn the dark side of the Force, suck the energy out of Troglodyte. And then-
That sounds easier.
Yeah, much easier, much easier. Yeah. No, I mean, like, well, the real glory about living like Troglodyte does, I said this in the last video, but man, like, once you get into that level of shape, it is easier to maintain than you think, because going out and running all that stuff, like, feels really good. It's only when you drop it. Yeah, it's only when you drop it that you start to be like, oh man, I don't feel like exercising. As long as your heart's good and your muscles are good, you're just like, yeah. So, yeah, geez, I used to be in that kind of, I gotta get back in that kind of shape, but just I can never quite get over that hump of like, being to that level. It's always like,
you just have to suffer. You just gotta be willing to suffer enough until you stop suffering.
Exactly. You gotta make sure you put in that work every day until you get past that first 2 or 3 months or whatever, and it becomes it's not work anymore, then it's just fun. I know it's there. That's the craziest part. You know it's there. It's just like, you just gotta reach it. Yeah, but anyway, though, so that was Troglodyte. Inspirational. We all need to work out a little bit more and get more in shape.
I should
like
just get one of those
Troglodytes.
walking desks like he has. I'll just walk all day long, and eventually that'll translate to running.
It's calories burned at the
I
very
wanna
least, and it'd be good for your legs.
We could get one of those bikes and hook it up to a generator, and then you hook up your PC to that, and you have to like keep pedaling, or else it comes out.
If you slow down, you can't do your work anymore.
If you get tired during the next sport, too bad. You're gonna corrupt that file. You gotta keep going.
Oh, I'd hate that actually. Oh my word.
Yeah, but it would motivate you. You're not gonna stop running.
Let's move on. I don't like that mental image. What's next?
All right, yeah. So okay, so the next one coming up is Tomaton 500 with entry for Dawn Somewhere, Vid Somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, I love the title already. Woo!
Ooh, it's like a animatic.
Nice. Nice. All right, we gave the gift. We have the gift. Man leaves. All we have left to remember man by is gift.
This is mine now.
I made this.
That wasn't a gift. That was an insult.
Don't worry, he wouldn't know.
That's like giving someone soap for a present. You're just telling them they're stinky.
All right, that was Tomatron 500. That one was short. That's cute. I did like picking up on the meme though. Be like, here's this for you. I made this. I made this.
Wait, this isn't a present. This is work. This is like giving me a pile of wood and telling me that you give me a pile of wood and some nails and you say, there you go, your gift is a doghouse. And it's like, this isn't a doghouse. This is a project. I don't want a project.
This is parts of a doghouse. Speaking of, I was just having a conversation with my wife not very long ago about projects.
There's
and
eggs, flour, and milk. Happy birthday.
My wife is one of those people who, and I do relate to this sometimes, but she likes to pick up new things because she likes to learn. But then when she feels like she's got something mastered, she kind of like drops it and moves on. So she's got a lot of house projects. And one of them was like, for example, building cabinets. So it's kind of funny because while she was learning how to build cabinets, like construction-related stuff was a gift for her. Be like, here's some wood, sweetheart, and some nails. She's like, yeah, she's real excited about getting like a new table saw and things like that.
Now you don't have to go to the store. I remember I went out to your place for vacation one time, and we went to not a garage sale? What's a garage sale?
The router. An estate sale. Yeah, Claudia was all excited about this estate sale. She's like, I hear they've got a router at the estate sale. A table router. And then and I think you made the joke. You were like...
I thought it was like an internet router, like a table for an internet router.
And you were like, why don't you just leave it on the ground? Yeah. And she was like, that sounds like exactly something Greg would have said. Yeah, I don't actually know the tools. I don't really do any woodworking or anything like that. So it's kind of funny because Claudia knows all the tools now, and she's like, well, I need a table saw. And I'm like, don't you already have a table saw? And she goes, no, that's a saw that's on the table. I need a table saw. And I'm like, okay.
The saw is the table. The table is a saw. You don't get it, Greg.
You don't get it.
It's it's multiple pieces that become one thing.
Oh yeah, but anyway, though,
Anyway,
so she went through all this trouble to make a cabinet. It took her like a while to build it, but she had a lot of fun while she was learning how to make it, and she got it finally put all together. She was super proud. And then she went ahead and she was like, "I'll make another cabinet for our son's Legos," because she's like, "I did it once," but then she was able to put it together within like a day. But she did it with like kind of this level of antipathy of like, "Oh, this is too easy. I kind of don't want to do it now."
I already know how to do that. What's the point?
What's the point of doing it now? So she still finished it, but now she's not like excited about building cabinets anymore because she can already build a working cabinet. So she got to move on to something else. I don't know what the next thing will be, but it has to be a level above cabinets.
Oh, it could be like one of those table desk things that got all like the different puzzle pieces, and you gotta like do things in a special order to open up a secret compartment.
Ooh, I could run that by her.
Yeah.
Secret compartment desk.
But anyway, vote.
Yeah, anyway.
On this submission, I guess.
The art was cute. I'm we don't have a lot to say. It was very short, so there's not a lot that we can say about it. But the art was cute. The joke was funny. It was a good submission. That was a good submission.
I will say, whenever I hear people saying they're gonna animate something for a vid somewhere, and I'm guilty of this too, but whenever people say that, I always imagine this is what they're ultimately gonna end up uploading, and I'll say like, yeah,
the storyboard.
It was good. Yeah, you just show a storyboard, we follow it along. It's like, yeah, that's a good story. I see the beats you have there. Good job.
Good job. Yeah.
What's next?
Up next is Dinkie Pie with Nakura and Dinkie Pie. Here we go. Oh, good. I'm glad we got another subtitles one. These are great.
I don't like being in the way.
Decision. Really, I might prefer a soul bank, but it could depend on any number of factors. Why? What did you say? Don't touch my soul, 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 don't touch my soul.
That's the theme. You can't
Don't
tell
do
us
it.
that.
Don't touch the soul. It says don't. All right, that was short.
I don't want to have to understand things as an audience member.
Okay, so that was Dinkie Pie with Nakura and Dinkie Pie. I thought the skeleton doing the dial-up sound was fun.
I always do enjoy the dial-up sounds. You don't have to do anything other than dial-up sounds, and I'll have a good time.
Yeah, just next time you submit a video, just have it be blank screen dial-up with subtitles.
And I'll still be amused. I'll get a little chuckle out of it.
For the first 15 seconds, maybe.
I'll at least vote a 2 on your video, you know? I'll give you better than nothing.
I'm grateful we don't do that dial-up stuff anymore. You know, I've got a whole story. Here, bring the camera close to me and get this story I'm about to tell you. Yeah, and that's how I feel. Edit that in.
Well, anyway, I kind of dig the effects behind the skeleton, but yeah.
We probably shouldn't be sitting in front of the spot where subtitles go with the amount of subtitles we've gotten.
I kind of enjoy that we can reach over and just block everyone from reading what's being said, especially when it's essential to the dialogue.
Well, cool. Well, thanks for submitting a video. What's next?
All right, next up is Rafka Cackles with Mine.
Mine.
Destroy that car. You are worthless. Shut up. Didn't ask. Unalive in Minecraft. Swag. Looks like you are struggling with your demons. With a low price of they're mine. Don't touch them. I could help if that's all I got.
That's
all right. Yeah, you know, I too like to keep my demons untouched.
All right, that was another short one. That was Rafka Cackles with Mine. Again, just a heads up, if you haven't been voting, then you can go vote. The links are in the description, so just go there.
I enjoyed the drawings.
The drawings. Yeah, they were good drawings.
Like when people draw.
Yeah. It is nice. I mean, you do have to appreciate how much effort goes into the drawings, even if it's just like a single image. That's still like somebody spent who knows, 15 minutes to an hour or something like that, drawing all those things, and then just being like, okay, video. So
Yeah,
at the very least,
I feel like the joke probably could have been better executed, but the drawing was effort, and it was fun, and it was unique to look at, and it wasn't that AI slop from earlier.
yeah, I'll definitely take a short video that somebody drew themselves above something that was automatically generated any day of the week. So yeah, that one I got the sense that that was like an OC kind of thing. Like probably that character has some kind of history in somebody's own little creative world, which I think is interesting sometimes when we get those submissions like that where you can clearly see like, okay, this person has done more than one thing with this character and they have like an ongoing story that we are not privy to.
As bad as YouTube's gotten, one thing I do enjoy is that these days they will randomly recommend me videos that have 0 views. And I get recommended a lot of animation stuff, and so I'll get these random, terribly done little animated videos. And it's fun to click on them because it's somebody's OC, and it, like, clearly, but it's weird, it's hard to understand what's going on, but it's clearly this OC that they have this passion about, and if you click on their channel, they've done 50 videos that are all just as indecipherable.
I mean, that stuff's all better, though, and a lot more fun, I think, than... you know, hey 9-year-olds, click the link or subscribe to my channel and you might win $5,000.
Yeah, I'll take it over Mr. Beast clones, or like Minecraft Let's Play Part 500 any day.
Yeah, that kind of stuff was what I really liked about YouTube and the internet back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean, like people just making stuff that they like really cared about and just being like, everyone needs to see this, whether or not we all did. I mean, you know, if you're passionate about it, maybe we all do need to see it.
I made a Warrior Cats world in Roblox when I was a kid, okay? That was peak internet.
That was when the internet was fun. And the
Back
kids
in my day, we had the Warrior Cats, and they were fun, and they did music videos using Linkin Park.
Well, maybe fun's not the word. It might be puerile, but with heart.
I'll have you know I was 12, Greg.
Anyway, coming up next is Tuki. It looks like Tuki producer, or it might be Tuki producer, like the Tuki bird. Kind of prefer Tuki producer. But anyway, though, here we go. So this video used a bunch of stock and licensed footage, which was against the rules, but the audio seemed okay, so here we go.
So I was a weird kid. Like some kids, I was a little goth and a little dark. But
So,
unlike some
you guys
kids,
can't
I
see
would study
the
books on voodoo and
the stock video.
One day, I was talking with my friend.
Is this a commercial?
Let's call her Zoe.
No, like
Zoe and I
Can you
were
put a
both
commercial on his
seniors and
submission?
18 by this point, and we were
It's
chatting
from
in
like
class,
story
and one
story
of the
docs.
things that bonded us was that we
Story
both got up
socks.
to
Your
some
head's in the
crazy
way. I can't
stuff.
actually see it.
We were never an item or anything, but just good friends. One day I asked her, "Hey, what if I bought your soul?" She just stared at me and said, "How much would you give me for it?" "Well, how about $30?"
This beautiful
And she said,
red-headed
"Yeah,
model
I'll
asked
take
me,
that."
how much would you give me for your
A few
soul?
days went by for me to wrangle up $30, and
That's
in
more
that
than
time, I asked my
$30, guys. He's
philosophy
holding a
teacher,
stack of
"How
50s."
does one buy a soul?" He cocked his head to the side and said, "Well, if you read Faust, you would sign your name on a contract in blood. Why do you ask?" I just responded, "No reason," and ran off. I passed
Looks like
by
his
Zoe in
teacher
the
is Bernie
halls and said,
Sanders.
"Hey, I got the $30.
Oh, it's
And her
another
eyes
beautiful red-headed
bulged
model.
wide.
Oh, there she is again. This
She
must be
retorted,
from a movie.
"Let's talk about it in 7th period," and quickly ran down the hallway. During 7th period, we had a class called Modern Media, where we just
Story
watched movies
Blocks.
and wrote an essay.
That's
every
the company
3
he
weeks.
got
It
his
was
footage
the
from.
ultimate
Story Blocks.
senior class.
And what is the in-video max
Zoe and
that
I
keeps
sat
showing
next
up?
to
Is
each
that how
other,
he edited
and when
it?
she came in, she looked at me and said,
No
"I can't
idea.
go through with it." I was like,
Story
"Why?"
Blocks.
She said,
Making
"I
kids
can't sell you
super
weed.
smart.
Giving somebody
Story
weed for the first
Blocks.
time is like stealing their
I
soul."
guess probably wouldn't get that unless you.
I looked at her and
You need to
said,
have a small
"Zoe,
kid to
I
get that
don't
reference.
want to buy your weed.
Look,
I
the
want
kid, the
to buy
parents
your
are gonna
soul."
know. The parents with
And then
Netflix.
Zoe went, "Oh,
you know,
phew,
story
what a relief."
bots.
So, with little ceremony, I
That's
gave her the
€100.
$30.
What happened to
and pulled
$30?
out the handwritten note I made saying, "I, Zoe, sell my soul for $30" in my, chicken scratch handwriting. Zoe said, okay, so how do we do this? And I said, well, I need you to sign your name in blood. Just as the classroom lights went down to start the movie for that period.
Like it
for
puts a
that
little
day,
blue
I
filter
think
on
we
this
were
to
watching
represent the lights
Rosemary's
going
Baby.
down on the stock
Anyway,
image.
So without hesitation, Zoe pulled her earring out and pricked her finger, and slowly, one drop at a time, signed her name on the handwritten paper, Zoe Z. However, while the movie was playing, Zoe and I sat in the front row, and the entire class could tell we were up to something.
Well, look at the freckles on
Here's the
that
crazy
stock
part.
image.
The blood on the contract sparkled. That is not an exaggeration. The blood sparkled on the paper. At the end
That's
of
just what blood does.
seventh
It's the
period,
iron
after
content.
everybody in the class had been watching what we were doing with, blood and fingers and whatever the hell was going on.
Are you sure
in
that's
the
not
front row
a sign
very
of vampiric
quietly.
possession? That's like one of those things they should
our
have
teacher,
staked her
let's
through the
just
heart
call
and then
him
buried her
Mr.
with her
M.
legs
Mr.
turned
M
around
came
backwards
up,
so that she
looked
can't
at
rise.
what we were doing and pried the paper contract from me. And I didn't want to give it up because I was worried he would confiscate it. Mr. M then proceeded to read it aloud.
Mr. M looks like
in
a handsome
front of the
supermodel from
entire
a stock
class.
video.
I, Zoe, sell my soul for $30. He looked at it for what felt like an eternity and then said, okay, and handed it back to me.
This all seems
became
on the up and
a
up to me.
note of infamy in our not-so-small town with a population of 100,000 people. It spread so fast and wide that a couple days later, Zoe's brother, who had graduated our high school 3 years earlier, greeted Zoe and asked, Zoe, did you sell your soul? I still have that silly handwritten contract. In fact, it is one of my most prized possessions, and to this day, I shit you not, the dried brown blood still sparkles under certain light.
Imagine you have a family that takes souls very seriously. Like, imagine they're like very Christian, and then they're like, "Did you try to steal another child's soul?"
Yes.
They'll probably also blame the teacher for letting it happen.
All right, so that was Tuki Bird with a story about souls.
My favorite part of that one was the visuals.
Oh yeah, no, all that stock footage. So one of the rules was you can't use like stock footage or licensed footage because we don't have the license to it. So Tuki producer sent that video in like within the first week of the thing announcement, and of course they did it because it was just like an audio story, and then a bunch of like footage that they probably pulled from. I guess they do other videos, so they just like slapped in all this like licensed footage, and we can't use it. So, yeah, it's not going on display.
You're lucky that we liked the story that you were telling enough to rip out the video for our stuff, and so that's why you're still in. So, that's preferential treatment right there, and you should appreciate that.
I don't know what it is preferential. We talked over the story for the most part. I do kind of appreciate that, like, oh, the blood
I don't
spark.
think he's going to be
not even
thanking
sure
us
what
anytime soon.
Yeah. I do also like the real quick, that instant debunk of like the blood sparkled, and you were like, that's the iron content. It's supposed to do that. Like,
No, it's normal.
like that's not magical soul dust.
It's iron. That's oxidization. This is the chemistry, guys.
Like that, to this day, that blood still has traces of iron
That's
in it.
probably because of the devil.
It might be the devil. I mean, it wasn't the devil. It was just like, look, he stole the soul, and that didn't require the devil for him to do it. It required $30. It required maybe three. Who's on the 10? Abraham Lincoln.
The 10 has
don't know.
dead guy.
I'm
on
not
it.
that rich, Greg.
I think
Whatever. Okay,
I
it
don't
required
remember.
30
I think I
George
don't
Washingtons.
remember.
It required George Washington 30 times. And
Now that's a denomination I understand.
30% of a Benjamin.
yeah, 30%. It took 1/3 the effort, a little below, of Benjamin Franklin to steal that girl's soul. It's not the
way
devil.
I
That's the
understand-
founding fathers.
So I know we were talking over it, but this is how I recall the story being. So the guy was bored one day, and he had a crush on a girl, and so he was like, "Can I have your soul?" Because he couldn't have her. And she's like, "Yeah, okay, $30." And then he went to a teacher, and the teacher was like, yes, to buy a soul, you must sign in blood. Why do you ask? And then he scampered off without answering. Then he went to a teacher who was probably hungover and playing a movie in class.
What? How is a... What? Why would a professor tell a student how to perform dark rituals? That's completely irresponsible.
Like, the whole story is just so, like, if you look at it from the incredibly bland angle of, like, the teachers didn't care, the girl didn't care, the sparkle was the iron content in the blood. Yeah, he took the note and he looked at it for a while. And I know, like, the gears going on in that teacher's head is like, if I say something, if I do something, I'm going to have to go all the way with this. And, like, at some point, like, is it a biohazard? Like, is it gonna be... Like, you don't even know who's gonna have to get involved with, like, one of my students.
I don't even know what pieces of paperwork I'm gonna have to fill out. There's no way for me to quantify the amount of work this is gonna be, so I'm just gonna imagine it's the maximum amount of work.
Yeah.
Am I gonna have to contact the school?
I'd probably be like, okay, kid, this was stupid. Don't do that again. It's not how this works. Let the girl keep the $30.
Well, I mean, like, then you'd have to explain to the child why it's stupid, is the other thing, too. So, like, I just, like, get this, looking at this, to be like, what level of effort am I going to go through with this? You know what? None. Take the paper back. Let's pretend we didn't see it. Goodbye.
Have fun with your soul. Bye-bye.
Yeah, good luck with that.
So glad that we got to see that and souls and all the things. What's after this?
Next up is cheese with something only you know.
Boo!
Whoa! Hey, cheese!
Boo!
Echo, what is something nobody else knows?
But I guess I wouldn't tell you that. I would never tell you that. I would never divulge that kind of information.
VR chat.
When somebody asked me if I had some kind
so just for clarity, I think it was asked.
Edge,
we asked Cheese if the people being recorded were aware they were being recorded,
myself like that.
And
it's for me to know.
They are aware they were being recorded.
Okay.
So he had permission.
Wearing blue underwear.
Right, I was at work. I was chilling with my homeboy, and like it was just me and him that night, right? We're running patrol. We work in security. All of a sudden, this guy fucking died on property.
It's nice to see Mace Windu and Anakin getting along. They're always so adversarial towards each other.
When I was a lot younger, I was
That's just for the screens. They're fine behind the
wanted to be
scenes.
a man really, really bad, and nobody knows.
The craziest part is he got ran over by his best friend. They were at the same bar an hour ago. What? He ended up walking home. The guy who was driving. His friend was walking. He ended up killing his best friend. And his girlfriend shows up, and she's crying, and everybody's crying. It's very bad. Very bad.
So obviously there's this thing about called circumcision in the Jewish religion. Like males get circumcised when they're born 8th day. But if a Jewish man grows up and never gets circumcised, and then decides later on he wants to get circumcised, it's a whole like surgical process and everything that he has to go through. Very painful, anesthesia, healing involved. And so there's a story of I was told about a friend who went to do that. And so the day of, this guy like went to he hung out with a couple of his friends and getting ready, and he's like, oh man, like I'm pretty nervous about this. And his friends are like, don't worry, like just let's drink, let's let's get your nerves.
Oh my god,
are
all the stories connected?
That you can fit
No.
4 raccoons up somebody's ass.
Good to know.
And so they drink a little bit, and then he's nice and drunk, and then he goes to the moil to get circumcised, and you get anesthesia. You're not supposed to feel anything, and he told the rabbi, I feel everything, and the rabbi's like, you shouldn't be. I gave you like plenty of anesthesia, and he's like, I feel it, and it turns out that when you have alcohol, the anesthesia doesn't work, and so no matter how much anesthesia the guy gave him, he felt like the whole thing, and they went ahead with it actually, because
Wait, is that real?
Started basically, while he had to feel
Alcohol
the whole
messes with
process.
anesthesia in different ways. It's not good.
You know, thankfully it worked out, but that was.
Can you imagine getting circumcised without anesthesia? Like, just being like, no, I still feel it, it's really bad. And be like, do you want to stop? No, I don't want to
No.
chicken out or anything.
But sweet goddamn it, yo, I fucking gotta hand it to them. They come pretty fierce, but then I spit a couple rhymes in their ears. Yo, the fucking sound alone knocks them on their backs. Yo, I just fuck them up with the tracks. Then I tie them to the tracks like a train engine running over top of them. Yo, they got suspended from the trees. Yo, they heads in the river. They should have fucking known better than to try to deliver the death bro to a beast named Manifesto. Here we go.
I mean, he's saying words that rhyme, but he's not really following a meter or anything.
Ryan's belt.
Yeah, I didn't catch what he was saying. It just sounded nice.
As what?
Red string.
Another thing that I know most people don't. If you want to get ahead in life, yo, you gotta grind away, folks. Yeah, I've heard that before, but you gotta fucking take inventory, know what you got, more or less fucking be honest with your person.
How do you do a line where you're like, I know something nobody else knows, and then immediately go like, yeah, I've heard that before.
Can I ask you an open-ended question?
Sure.
What is something nobody else knows?
Nobody else knows? Nobody else knows what I'm about to say next.
He never spoke again.
Huh. You got me there.
I'm waiting for someone to tell some kind of like personal story.
That's a bad answer.
Thanks. Yeah. Okay, that was Cheese with things that only people know. Yeah, that one was actually kind of fun. You just go around, you ask people like, what's something interesting that you know, and then of course everybody has interesting stories. So, you know, that's a good format. It's always a good format.
Yeah, I wanted to be mad at it. I wanted to be able to do the whole bit where I boo at Cheese because I hate him for winning Vid Jam a while back. But then it was just random people, and I didn't want to be booing random people's random stories.
Yeah, it's hard to justify being mean to people who are just like, oh yeah, let me tell you about this circumcision incident. You'd be like, boo, boo, no circumcision incident. I've heard 1,000 of those. Get new material.
We all know circumcision stories. Come on.
Yeah, I know 100 guys who got
I will
busted.
lodge a complaint. I really felt like, you know what, I really felt like after the first couple of stories, like I saw a common theme of like, there was this guy who was drunk and it was like, I was working here and there's this guy that was like passed out and dead and then this thing. And I was like, oh, I see what they're doing. They're telling these random stories that sound disparate, but as we go, the stories will start to connect and by the end, it'll be like this big narrative. And I was like, that's really cool. But he didn't do that.
I don't think Cheese was willing to put in that level of effort. He would have had to like coordinate a story and all this stuff. Would have been cool, but
yeah, I got my hopes up, and then Cheese failed to meet my hopes that I personally manufactured myself during the watching of his video, so he's responsible.
You can just knock a few points off.
But I do enjoy that kind of random interview kind of thing, and I think he structured it well. So
yeah, I did kind of like the cuts that he did. At one point, he's like talking to one person. He cuts away for like a second to something sillier, and then cuts back. It actually helps with the pacing. So there was some decent, cinematic sense to that. But anyway, though, up next is Nobody with Looking for Tomatoes.
What? Someone has nobody?
As the rains falter for the year and the sun finds courage yet again, I sit with my mother, absent-mindedly, working through the 27 court-mandated weekends we share. She makes a request.
Son, please retrieve tomatoes. Of course, Mother. Yes, of course.
I steel myself for the journey ahead.
I do something. I do find.
Okay.
Tomato was.
I do find something
All
quite
right,
charming
puppets.
about drawing on paper and then recording it for your storyboard or whatever, your animatic.
Yeah. And then doing a puppet and just filming the puppet like in real time.
I think the puppet's a Vid Somewhere first. I don't think I've seen a puppet before. I like it.
I find myself...
Oh no, we can't show that. Cover up.
Oh no, my gosh!
No, not of flesh. He's only stone.
What is man? Would they know where tomatoes grow?
They hoard all things, though they do not speak to our kin. Hey, I shall point you to my friends for. Oh no.
Well, you can't say that. Cover that up.
Yes, Duck. We have to cover the eye.
It says duck, guys. I swear.
We might say duck.
I was directed to sit on these flowers, specifically, though I'm not sure why. I don't mind the short blade, though, as the path is trash.
I fell off the flower.
Where am I?
One
of us is riddles and the other speaks in rhymes. Stop ticking with him like you're like this all the time.
Where must one go to find tomatoes?
At least you spot a safe way to reach your target. Dude, just go to the supermarket. That wasn't a rhyme. Or a riddle.
I like it. That's a good spin on that.
The Stowers direct me to the supermarket. I'm astonished at the
Is that a tomato?
access humans have established for
Yes.
themselves. It seems they capture everything.
But did Mom want, like, pre-cooked tomatoes, or?
Foliage of this
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Cheesy potatoes, tomatoes. What's the difference? Get the cheesy potatoes.
How do you find yourself here?
Hey,
He found the tomatoes!
Woo! Our hero. We didn't
Yay,
need
he did
subtitles.
it!
We got there anyway.
Yay!
Did he just
Even in
die?
spite of us. No, that's Mother there.
Oh.
Maybe Mother's dead.
Mother, he found your tomatoes.
It's repeating, right? It's not just me, is it repeating for you guys? But Mother is dead. Mother is dead. For those watching at home, Mother has died.
Oh.
We took too long on the tomatoes.
How did your mother die of starvation, but you didn't? You took so long to get the tomatoes! Why'd you starve your mother to death? So that was nobody! With a little puppet and everything. I think that was as you said, that was a Vid Somewhere first? Vid Somewhere
I'll
first?
say that I'm surprised that video made itself.
Surprised that video made itself?
Oh, because
Yeah,
nobody made
nobody
it.
made it. Nobody made that.
Oh, nobody made it. Okay, yes.
I think we...
Yeah. Who is your writer? Because we need to talk about demoting them.
What? No, I write my own content.
You know, if this had come out in an earlier era, I feel like that could be something where you'd have the little puppet and you could have like stopped some random passerby on the street and then like be like, could you play along for a video and I'll ask you where to find tomatoes. And they'd be like, go to the Safeway. And then you go to the Safeway and it would be kind of a fun, organic, like oh yeah, this stranger on the street just told you to go to the supermarket. But I do feel like these days, you know, everything, the YouTube ecosystem is so saturated with like pranksters and other things. If somebody's like, I want to do a YouTube video, if you don't like, like mace that person and then run away, they're gonna force you to eat like Oreos with toothpaste in them or something horrible. You know, you don't know what they're gonna do, but it's probably bad because it's for YouTube. Using like a local statue as a character is kind of neat, and I also like the little carved guys. I like the stop messing with them. Reminded me of a joke that I saw once that I can't remember. A friend told me about this, so this is like third-hand joke. But he said he saw a comic where they had the one of us tells lies and one of us tells the truth. And so what the character does is he just like picks up the little guy that's like, I speak in riddles, and he just throws them through one of the doors, and there's an explosion. And he goes, that was the wrong door. And then they go through the other door.
I saw another
yeah.
version of that. It was like a D&D party. And they go up to the two guys. It's like, one only tells the truth, one only tells lies. and their barbarian comes up and he murders one of them just right off the bat. And he turns to the other one and says, "That guy dead?" He's like, "No." And he's like, "This one's the liar."
I caught him. Figured it out.
I see those bits come up all the time, and they're just like, oh, just ask them if they're a liar. And it's like, no, you only get one question. Like, you don't get to ask a bunch of questions. Part of the riddle is you only get to ask one.
Yeah, I forget. There is a really simple answer to that riddle, and I don't recall what it was. I had one of those riddle books that had exactly that riddle in it. And
they
there's
do it in the labyrinth. She's like, would the other guy say that the castle's behind your door?
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, new material.
Also, another thing that people say is like you're assuming that the first guy telling you the premise isn't, the liar or whatever. And it's like, no, that's dumb. That's a cop out. You're avoiding the question. Okay, like
the way I see that is sometimes they have both of the guys say the rules together, so that way you can't be like, hey, what? Wait, like, of course, there's also I've seen the spin on it where it's like they're both liars. And they're like, they're so stupid. Like, everyone thinks one of us tells the truth. Neither of us tell the truth. But anyway, though, coming up next, we've got Buloof.
That was 2-Bit's joke. I stole 2-Bit's joke.
У меня зазвонил телефон. Кто говорит?
Okay, so I just want to point out that I did check YouTube subtitles on this. And the story he's telling is completely nonsensical. Like, it doesn't mean anything, as far as I could tell.
Oh, good. My favorite kind of story.
Yeah. He also can't speak English, so a lot of his videos were in English. So this was a creative decision.
It's a very creative decision, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could look at like stuff that's on his like countertop, like whether it looks like a stapler, some Matryoshka doll, the nesting dolls. That's fun. He's got like a trilobite here.
He has, I think, a 3D
pen,
printed Eva Eevee.
An Eevee, yeah.
Oh, I forgot to speak.
A Lucario right here.
What's that?
What do you think that book is?
Pointing at things?
I'm gonna pick his nose. I'm gonna do it.
Now, see, here's the thing: is he like in the U.S.? You could pick his nose. Yeah. What else we got? We got curtains in the background. Yeah. A little shade of red.
Is it curtains over here?
Пришлите, пожалуйста, капли. Мин лягушками нынче
Some kind of power cord. I don't know. Moved out of the way.
Oh, shoot. My arm fell asleep.
Well, that's it. I'm out of things to commentate on.
We need a new scene.
There's nothing else for me to say. Go do something else. Go get out of here! Go!
Break your ankle!
Good.
They look like just wood from the hardware store, just kind of stapled together.
I mean, if you want to save money, that's a good way to do it. Pet his hair. Come back here.
Wait.
Okay. Well, hold on. Let's try and make a beard on him. Hang on. Okay, so wait. How do let's see. Okay. No, shoot. Okay.
Nice.
You got a mustache. Yeah, we kind of got it.
I'll give him the unibrow.
Oh, the unibrow. Good. Yeah, we do need a mustache.
There we go.
Okay.
Did he move? I can't see. I'm trusting.
You're doing all right.
Oh right, I forget you can't even like see what's on screen.
That's funny.
Yeah, you actually got a mustache going for a little while. Yeah. What do we do now? Jumping.
We jump.
Boy. Yeah, you're jumping in front of the. I'm like seeing through the back of your head with the camera. You're jumping into the camera.
Nice. Love it.
Okay. I guess we could take a look around. So this tunnel of Satellite of Love is kind of cool. This is what we wind up filming in. They have popcorn, and that's pretty great. Tubit was using it earlier.
Yeah, I wanted to show it at the screen during
Yeah.
Cheese's video, but then his video wasn't like about him, and so I couldn't just mock it.
Oh, I threw this at someone's video. Oh yeah, the homunculus maker. They made us fail. How dare he?
There's like a little cambot
You know, we
guy.
did him
It's pretty
dirty.
cool.
I went back and played the Homunculus Maker, and it was functional. There was different videos for all the different combinations.
I'm gonna show off. There's like all this animation
that's
for
what he
walking
gets.
through the thing, just like in the
You should
show.
have expected how dumb we were.
And then here we have the interior of the satellite of love. And actually on the outside, somewhere out here, is
that asteroid. That
the
says
Mystery Science Theater planet. Oh wait, there it is. There it is. Oh, there it is. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah.
Oh, is it over there? For
And
you?
there's a button here that you can push.
The moon might be unsynced.
Yeah, and it sounds the alarm, which is fun. So then you got the alarm and you run through the room. And you get in and the video's over. Oh, great.
All
Okay. We're done. Hooray. All right, so that was Vid Somewhere 2024. We're at the end. That was the last video. I think that we did have like 1 or 2 more than last year, so pretty close to the same, but just a little bit more this time. I felt like we had some really good submissions. I would even say that although we had some that weren't very good, that the absolute lows were not quite as bad as Dwarven Defender's video from last year.
Yeah, if that video was in this submission this year again, I'd be equally as upset about it again.
He could have sent it in again, just re-recorded it and be like, "You will listen to the spaghetti song every year," and we would still be just as mad, maybe even angrier.
I think if he just resubmitted that video, I would be more upset.
Like, not only now you're just reusing content. Speaking of, I mean, like the AI thing was it was disappointing and it let us down, but it really didn't give us much to rant about because it's more akin to someone like turning in someone else's homework and just saying this is mine, which like you can't even be like, how dare you pretend how did you drew a penis on the test and turned it in, like we're gonna have a conversation. It's just sort of like you clearly plagiarized and it's kind of like, what more can I say than like I wish that I could have seen your actual ability. I mean, like if it had been anything else, if it had been like even bad content, like poorly put together content, then we could at least say like, man, we hate how bad that was. But as it is, it's just sort of like, yeah, AI, it makes stuff based on things that are statistically that it could pick apart. And
Who was that made that?
well, an AI made it. Like, what do you mean who made it? An AI made it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, who submitted it? I was gonna say, yeah, it's fine. We don't need to give a name. This year's Dwarven Defender Award of Horribleness, we can now say definitively goes to that AI video.
Yeah, the AI video gets this year's Dwarven Defender Worst Video of the Year award. As for the best video, I feel like we had some decent contenders. I will say that probably Sheep Hell is really up there. That was a very cute one.
Yeah.
Very funny. Yeah, like the bits.
Sheep Hell was a really good one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he'd been working on that for a long time though, so I will say that one had a lot of time to put a lot of production value into it, whereas some of the other ones that got submitted were actually just done in a month. So yeah, Sheep Hell's a good entry and it deserves to win, but the people who also submitted stuff within like a month and did like animations within a month and other content all within just this month, also pretty good quality for that amount of time put in.
I do feel like we had a lot of very fun viewing experiences this year. I'd say more consistently watchable videos than last year. From my memory,
I also feel like we kind of I don't know. I feel like we came away with a lot more of like, that was fun. That was pretty good. I don't have much to rant on here. I'm not angry about hardly any of this.
I'm not regretting our decision completely.
Yeah. I think it's that Alan is cursed. So that was the thing, was that last year Alan watched every single video. and he must just be an unlucky man. So he got to see a lot of videos that were not quite as good. And this year, we had Alan in for things that made Alan mostly unhappy. And then as soon as he couldn't make it anymore, we started to get like, pretty earnest, good quality submissions. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm overall pretty pleased with this one. I thought it was good. I thought it was good fun. And I hope that everybody who watched it had a good time. I enjoyed the tradition of releasing a new pony-related video specifically for Vid Somewhere. And we also did the previous one that came out was for a convention. And then disqualifying it. This one was genuinely late. I think I keep saying that we were going to do an Applejack video. And it's funny because... the script that I wrote for that, like it's all recorded and everything, and Petarap has it like blocked out and ready to go, but it's just an incredibly boring script. And I mean, like, it's written that way. Like, it's just like Applejack and Twilight are having a conversation, and then like Applejack's concerned about the quality of her stool, and it's just like a frank discussion about the quality of Applejack's poop and whether or not she should be worried about it. Because, like Twilight...
Why?
Because...
Why?
Yeah, so we just haven't really finished it because, I mean, like, it's a very in-character script, but it's... it really maximizes the Applejack as a background character without anything interesting going on angle. So we did the rarity one instead. I might rewrite that one. I don't know if that'll ever get released in the long run, because I've asked Peter, I'm like, do you maybe want to just do something else? And he's like, I'm fine with Applejack poop. Like, we can do it. He goes, he's like, it's not unwatchable. It's just that it's not exciting, and maybe we should do something exciting. Maybe just like writing a script that is incredibly good enough. It's not an aspiration that we should strive for either.
You know me really funny, really great thing to aspire to make you a comedy genius. Make everyone wait a whole year for another pony video, and then have it be about Applejack's poop. Like,
and then just have it be the Applejack's poop episode. Be like, all right, oh boy, you guys, new video. We've discussed ideas for like every other character, and like every other character has a funnier story to tell than that. It's just like the only I wanted to do it second because I was thinking like, okay, so people will be all hyped because they're like, oh yeah, Return to Pony content. And the very second video would be like the most dull of them. And I'd be like, yeah, don't get too excited. Maybe they're all gonna be kind of like this.
This isn't for you. This is for me doing something stupid that I don't care if you like it. Applejack's pooping.
Where are they? Yeah. I've been thinking about these for a long time.
This is like after the fact.
Yeah. I'd been thinking about these for a long time, and the Vid Somewhere kind of kicked off the like, well, what if we just strike up the band and we do some more pony stuff again? I don't know. I'm glad that we started doing it. We'll see what it looks like next year, and hopefully we'll get just as many submissions and some good quality stuff.
I'll just say, thank you for everybody that submitted. I hope that you had a fun time creating something for the sake of creating something, and I hope that more people enjoy doing that exact same thing, creating something just to create something next year.
Yeah. Because we enjoy watching it. I think one of the nicest things, it's so hard these days because so much of our entertainment ecosystem is controlled by algorithms or corporate owners or whatever who are relying on algorithms to maximize sales and everything. But I think it's great to just see stuff made by people, for people, and to kind of be able to give opinions and feelings on like, this is what I saw, this is what it made me feel, this is what it made me think about. I don't know, it's great. Like, this is the type of thing that I really love to see as far as videos and people making stuff goes. Yeah.
Cool. Well,
so that's it. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I hope that you'll catch us for the next one.
Now I'm gonna walk into the sea. Oh wait, you took away my jump height. I can't.
First you gotta walk up the stairs.
Yeah, the stairs are over here.
Now I will drown myself.
Okay.
All right.
Now I will drown myself until next year.